Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities. A medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University. A world-class institution, Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate. Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy the game.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacob Fyock. Alongside me is Frank Wolf, once again in our Western New York Athletic offices for another week of high school football. Playoff high school football, to be exact. Semifinal rounds, Frank. We got plenty of teams. They're going to try to punch their ticket to Highmark Stadium next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's no time like the present. 10 teams playing this weekend. Started yesterday with McKinley in Grand Island. McKinley blanks the Vikings. They punched their ticket for that Class A round. Now, you've got 9 other games. 8 today, 1 tomorrow. Will East and Health Sciences to see who McKinley's going to dance with. But you've got Lancaster, Jamestown, Orchard Park, Jamestown, Lancaster, Bennett for AA. And those guys will, I believe, play on Friday night. That'll be the will that be the last game Friday, or will that be the Thursday night game?
Yeah, I believe that's Friday night. Yep.
And C, the one a lot of people are really looking forward to, is that Southwestern Frewsburg taking on Eden North Collins. And then how about Barker Royhart welcoming Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton for C? They're up there in Barker for the second week in a row. They're hosting 2 playoff games. Barker Royhart, are you kidding me?
Very impressive considering what that program was a couple of years back to where it is now.
Newfane hosts Silver Creek Forestville.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got off to an 0-5 start. They ran the table, finished 4-5. They knocked off Franklinville, Ellicottville. Now they're not what they were the last few years, but still a team that's owned Silver Creek Forestville for as long as we've been doing this. Randolph has owned Silver Creek for as long as we've been doing this. They beat Randolph last week in their first playoff win, I believe, in I don't know how many years. I don't want to guess how many years it's been, but it's been a lot.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Silver Creek Forestville. They're keeping that train moving, and they're on their way to, well, they're probably taking the field in 20 minutes against Newfane, who's undefeated. And then go on to Pine Valley, looking to right some wrongs. Earlier this year, they got pounded by Wilson at their barn on their field, and they're looking to see if they can even the score tonight in Wilson. Weather's, I don't know if it's worse than it was last week. It looks a little tamer than it was. I don't think it's as worse.
I don't know. I drove here and the weather was pretty iffy. Like you had that rainfall, gusty wind. So if you're a team that likes to throw the ball tonight, depending on what area you're in, I don't know how it is in Southwestern, but for a team like Eden North Collins who loves to throw the football, if it's what it was up here in the North Towns, in the Williamsville, Amherst area, that's going to be a challenge for Eden North Collins. They'll probably have to rely more on the run game that they like to, or maybe go more of the short passes and what they do. But we got plenty of games that we're going to have here throughout the evening. In fact, why don't we take a look at our top games that we'll be showcasing you tonight here on the semifinal round of the Empire State EndZone. This is brought to you by Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys. Game 1, just mentioned, Eden North Collins will be taking on Southwestern Frewsburg. Game 2 is Jamestown versus Orchard Park. Game 3 will feature the Lackawanna Steelers taking on the Williamsville South Billies. Game 4, another matchup in Class C, Barker Royhart taking on Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton. Game 5 is Iroquois versus West Seneca East. Game 6 features Newfane versus Silver Creek Forestville. And then Game 7, another battle in Class D between Wilson and Pine Valley. And we'll get right into it, taking on this first matchup in Class C. This is the number 1 seed in Class C South, Southwestern Frewsburg, taking on the number 2 seed from Class C North in Eden North Collins. And this game is brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Southwestern Frewsburg, I believe it's just them and Health Sciences are the 2 remaining undefeated teams in Section 6. Oh, yeah, Newfane being the other one. So 3 teams still remain that are still undefeated. We'll see what happens tonight between them and obviously Newfane as well and Health Sciences tomorrow. But for the Southwestern Frewsburg squad, 9-0 overall, 7-0 in Class C South, took care of business, beating Medina 48-7. This offense, and I said this with Francis last week in Class C, all these 4 teams playing in Class C have to at least be 4 of the top 10 highest scoring offenses in Western New York. And Southwestern Frewsburg's no doubt.
What's crazy about that is for years, you had Medina, known for their running, Cleve Hill, known for their running. And now you got teams that are just balling it out there, throwing it. You got Brady Waring. You got the kid down at Chautauqua Lake, Gibbs. Lewis can throw the ball when he has to. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you've got guys that could just throw the ball down there. And, since Cole Snyder, we haven't really had a quarterback down at, maybe Aiden Kennedy a little bit, but not the level of Colt Snyder and Alex Cardward down there, 2 Conley Cup finalists, by the way.
Absolutely. And we'll talk to a guy who is definitely in the conversation for one, but Southwestern Frewsburg averaging over 41 points a game, and their defenses allowed 4.4 points a contest. They have 4 shutouts this season. CSP was the only team that scored more than 10 points on this defense. They had 14 to be exact. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, 0 points in Week 8 and 7 points allowed against Medina in the quarterfinals. This team as a defense also has 16 interceptions on the year. So when you got a team against Eden North Collins who likes to sling the ball around, and we'll talk more about Brady Waring, and with this weather, it seems like Southwestern Frewsburg might have some things in their favor. But Frank, how about Trent Lewis, the senior, 12 passing touchdowns, but also 13 rushing touchdowns on the ground. He's also defensively has 3 interceptions, and he's also a 3-time Conley Cup winner. Braden Fuller as
a top performer.
Yeah, top performer, yeah. Braden Fuller, senior running back, 17 rushing touchdowns. Roger Markham, one of their big guys on defense. At offense, he's been very good. 7 touchdowns on 7 touchdown receptions, 5 interceptions. Was also a Conley Cup Player of the Week earlier this season. Zach Markham, a junior with 54 tackles, 7 sacks, 23 tackles for losses. He's able to get into the backfield and be a big presence. Lito Kavich, Braden Potter, and Trent McIntyre are also 3 guys that are really going to be a key factor on their O-line and also on their defense as well. The winner of this game will take on Barker Royhart or Chautauqua Lake at Highmark Stadium next week. But we go into Eden North Collins. They started their playoff run last week, winning 43-28 over Portville. Some key guys: Hunter Esford, Carter Bishop, Sawyer Balone, AJ Colatino, Dylan Barth are a couple of guys to name of. But we got to mention the 3-headed monster of this Eden North Collins team. I'll start off with Isaiah Nellis, the senior. 16 touchdown receptions. He's tied with Nick Skutnick from Iroquois and Evan Zankel from Williamsville South for the second spot in most touchdown receptions in Section 6. Silas Nellis, a junior wide receiver, the younger brother of Isaiah. He leads the section in touchdown receptions with 21. If you look back at the record books, and also has it on New York State records as well, he has the Section 6 record for most touchdown receptions in a year. Josh Liddell, who played at Maple Grove, had 20 in 1998. So he has so far beaten by 1. And oh, by the way, he has a chance to do more as well. Also leads Section 6 in receiving yards. He's second in the section receptions behind Nick Skutnick from Iroquois, who's also having a fantastic season. And on defense, Nellis has also been a ball-hawking man with 4 interceptions. And then obviously the big one, Brady Waring. He's been a magician for this team. I think you and I talked earlier this season about, you mentioned how great this kid can be. And knowing what Eden North Collins football program's been the past several years, a little bit of skepticism on my end, but I think you and I could both agree that he's really shined much brighter than I think you and I anticipated.
Yeah.
And I think it was many anticipated.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, in regards to Brady Waring, he obviously has the timing down with his receivers, which is a big help, but what he's able to do is buy more time in the pocket with his legs and give his receivers time to get open.
Mm-hmm.
That separates him from a lot of other quarterbacks. Justice Kleitz has the ability to do this too.
Right.
But that's one of the things that separates a lot of quarterbacks at the Section 6 level, high school level, to the collegiate level. Guys that can find time for the receivers to get open. So he does an incredible job of doing that.
He does. 5 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground. That was his last contest against Portville. 39 passing touchdowns. That's the Section 6 record for most passing TDs in the season. Believe it was Cole Snyder and Trey Kleitz that had that record of 37. Brady's also broken the record for most passing touchdowns in a game in New York State at 9. And heading back to his Section 6 record, he has the most touchdowns in a single season by an individual. So he's got 39 passing, 11 rushing, equals 50. Aaron Leeper from Jamestown back in 2000 had 47 touchdowns as an individual. So Brady Waring, not only a multi-time Conley Cup Player of the Week in multiple weeks, he's also broken 3 records. I'm sure he's broken a plethora of school records for Eden North Collins with that football program, but I'd be flabbergasted if he's not a Conley Cup finalist. I think it's pretty easy to say that, he has a very good shot at being one. But that's who Southwestern Frewsburg has to go up against, a team that's only allowed 4 points a game versus an Eden North Collins squad that has been able to put points up on the board.
So has Eden played a team? When's the last time Eden's faced a team at the level of a Southwestern that's able to run the ball from the quarterback position, throw the ball, and play solid defense? Probably since the Barker game.
Yeah.
And this Southwestern team may be a little better, a little faster than that Barker team. We got Tyson McCaw down there. We're going to talk about him when we get into that team. But he's a quarterback that can run the ball, not as well as Lewis, but certainly can run the ball. Tough runner. And then they had an Alfie kid who's also a tough runner, can catch the ball out of the backfield, so on and so forth, and break tackles. And he did that last week against Salamanca. Braden Fuller is a different kind of runner. He's the type of kid that can break away and score, not from anywhere on the field like Elijah Kimball can, but he's got speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's got great speed. I think Eden's biggest problem is going to be getting the ball back from the Southwestern offense. They can score with Eden. They struggled against Barker, a team that came out to hit them, and I think that's when you have a kid like Zach Markham in the linebacker position for Southwestern and a couple other tough players in Southwestern, they're much improved. There's a guy that might be up for Coach of the Year too. We talked about that before we went live today. Coaches from large and small schools, who's in the conversation. Well, I think Burkhalter has to be there, but getting away from what I was starting, my point was, I don't think Eden North Collins has played a team of this caliber since that Barker Rare team, and I think this team is a little bit better.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is going to be a big challenge between both teams. I wouldn't be surprised if this, either goes back and forth, or maybe we get, kind of a low-scoring game with teams trying to chew up clock, get time of possession. And obviously, battle of the trenches will be key. Another big matchup, a rematch of a game we had earlier this season, Frank. Jamestown versus Orchard Park, Class AA semifinals. Big rivalry game. They had one earlier in the season with Orchard Park picking up the win, but almost a redemption battle here for Jamestown.
Yeah, this game happened in week 4 earlier this year. And as you mentioned, Orchard Park got the best of Jamestown that afternoon, 30-19. Now, this is brought to you, by the way, by Richmond Vona LLC. Has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Personal injury attorneys. This is an interesting one, Jake, because it's been a while since Orchard Park has made it to Highmark. When they do, they get there, they usually win. It's been a while, though. I know Lancaster beat them the last time they were there, but they beat Mike Hemmer West Blue Devils back 7 years ago or so. Tom Prince's oldest son, Zach, was on the field that day for OP. OP wants to get back to the stadium in the worst way. And usually what's kept them from the stadium is Ben Bennett. Mm-hmm. They've ran into Bennett Tigers this week, year in, year out. Well, they don't have that problem this year. But they still have Jamestown and Chase Bonta, who's not only a bone-crushing running back, but he's also a bone-crushing linebacker.
Yeah.
Who can make hits, and he can throw his weight around. So Orchard Park today, behind head coach Mike Cieslik, they've got their act together. You got to really be excited for this running back, Jarek Bresky, and what he's been able to do right out of the gate. He may have struggled in that game against Health Sciences week 1, but who on that Orchard Park team didn't struggle week 1 versus Health Sciences? But he's been phenomenal. And he, in my estimation, is one of the reasons why Orchard Park's in this position. They have a chance to get back to Highmark Stadium. This kid is absolutely has to be in the discussion for top 10 Conley Cup. We'll find out in a few short weeks. But if Orchard Park is going to have a repeat today, it's going to be because of the way Bresky runs the ball and Jamestown's inability to bring him down. We'll have to wait and see. Jamestown's a little bit younger. I got to see more of the pass rush. If Jamestown's going to be successful today, they're going to have to take the ball out of Bresky's hands, put it in that quarterback, Jaden Hassett's hands, and make him beat you. Still a serviceable quarterback. Very good. But Bresky's the reason why they're in the position they are today. I believe the other wide receiver, Zach Dana, he's having a fabulous year for Orchard Park as well. He does a lot of things, makes a lot of nice catches, so he's a nice target. Bresky gets going today. It could be a long day or a short night for Orchard Park, depending on how you look at things.
I think knowing what the weather is tonight, if it's the same as what we saw in our area that we're in right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Bonta runs the ball 40 times in that case. I feel like that could be a scenario for him. I know they have some really other good talented guys. Jericho Thacker's another one. Alaric Richards is another one as well. They've had some really good seasons, but you know that offense runs through Bonta, and he's going to obviously have to have a big game.
Yeah, and I also like their linebacker, Pat Budney. He's tough. Mason Dahmer, Matt Wright, a couple of these other guys making plays. Max Mancabelli is another bright spot for Orchard Park.
Matt Wright's had a really good year. He's had a really, really good season. I believe he still leads that team in tackles, but when him and Bonta went at it, because I was broadcasting that game with Carson Hayek, he seemed to be all over the field. Like, no matter what was being run, he was trying to be that first point of contact to bring down the ball carrier. It didn't matter if it was Bonta or anyone else on the field.
Well, Tom Prince and is it Carson Harper doing that game for us tonight on NFHS?
I believe so.
So we got Western New York on the case out there. We'll be getting some highlights shortly once they kick off at 7 o'clock today. I'm looking forward to this game. Now, I did send out some predictions earlier, and I can't remember who I picked to win this game. You'll have to go into the article to see it. I think I might have picked Orchard Park. I just think with the weather and the way Bresky's been coming into his own, especially these last few weeks, that's a tall order. Bonta, though, as well as he's played, he's a guy that's off the field in the second half because they're up by 2-3 scores.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of gas left in the tank, too.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Thagard, he's an important piece there for Jamestown, but he's got to buy into what the culture is in Jamestown because he hasn't always been on the same page there with everybody. He's got to work for it. You know, he's got to do his part because he is an exciting player, especially on special teams. That's where I really noticed Jericho Thagard was his speed and his ability to return kicks and get them in good field position. So he just needs to, stay focused because he wants to win. He's a competitor, but he gets a little out there at times. So Jericho has to play his game tonight and accept his role, and I'm sure he will. I would like to see that defense, though. Diaz, I believe, is one of them, and De Leon, is that the other guy?
Oh, De Leon. Yeah, De Leon.
Those two guys have to create some havoc, and they got to hit Bresky at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
you got to meet him.
Yeah, that's going to be another great game. It's a rivalry for a reason. Both these teams have always battled out no matter what sport it's been, and it's so great to see it the first time, but a second time when you have adjustments that got to be made from the first game, a game that's been, a couple weeks back, this is going to be one fun semifinal game. Oh. I am interested to see about this next game here. Lackawanna taking on Williamsville South. And this game's brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. So for Lackawanna, the number 2 seed in Class B2, 7-2 overall, 6-1 in Class B2. They came away with a 1-point victory over Pioneer, much different than their season opener against the Pioneer Panthers, where Lackawanna lost that game 7-0. This team has not been known for their scoring. But their defense, the Lackawanna defense, has been well this season. Their defense has given up just over 11 points a game. But with that being said, the offense, though, of Michael Moore has been a really huge part of this game getting going. Last year, when they had Tyrone Clark Jr., it was all run. And then when he transferred to St. Francis, now it was, okay, it's going to be running back by committee and wide receiver by committee. Who's going to be those guys? And Michael Moore had to step up into his senior year, and he's done very well. Over 1,000 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, only 4 picks. He's also has 5 touchdowns on the ground. Kobe Underwood's been one of those guys he loves to go to through the air with 7 touchdown receptions. And then you have Nassim Dali, who's been great on the running attack with 5 rushing touchdowns. But the defense, though, Kurt Stevens Jr., he's a Week 9 Trent's Trophy nominee, 83 tackles, 1 sack. Nassim Dali, 2 sacks and interception. Malachi Adams, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. There's also 3 guys on this defense that each have 2 interceptions. That's DeAndre Jones, Makai Scott, and Orlando Taylor III. Give Marcus Rivers a lot of credit with the way that this team was supposed to be, or I should say how some people anticipated this team to be, and he's definitely exceeded expectations as the season has come along, going 7-2.
Well, they gave up a ton, especially on the line of scrimmage. A lot of studs, graduated out. but you knew they were going to be a run-heavy team. I'll tell you what, though, this defense doesn't get the credit they deserve. That's been a ridiculously tough defense to run against. Will South is in for – they've got their work cut out for him tonight. Amir Caesar is finally – I think he's 100%. He had 180 yards last week.
Yeah, he did. He looks really good.
And then, with the Ganji kid, Ganji, I always pronounce his name, with Zankel, and Collins is back now, and that was a scary sight against West Seneca East, but he came back last week and I think he had 1, maybe 2 touchdowns, so he's back in rare form. You have the Cadillac, the flashy Cadillac, if you will, right, in Will South. They've got the power steering. They got the leather seats. Right, they got
the heated steering wheel.
They got it all.
The heated
Cadillac,
seats.
baby. They got the Escalade, and then Lackawanna comes in, and they just got the Caprice Classic. You know what I mean? You know what you're gonna get. But that defense, they're not happy with the way things ended last year.
Right.
That the way they came out against Health, they were just flat. I don't think that team's coming out flat tonight. I don't think Lackawanna can win this game because of all the skill that Will South has. They're not going to be able to score 20 points. And Will South has the ability to go out and put 2 or 3 touchdowns up on this defense. I don't think that offense can put 2 or 3 touchdown drives together. And I think they're going to be playing from behind. If they can get out in front of that and not play down 2 scores for most of the game, then it'll probably be then maybe Lackawanna can pull off the upset, but I have a feeling Will South is going to go down and score early, and they're going to be playing from behind for most of the game.
Yeah, and for Lackawanna to try to get out in front, I think trying to force turnovers is going to be real key.
That is
and
huge.
This is really difficult because Will South, just in terms of throwing the ball, Philip Ganji, I got to say, he might be one of those quarterbacks this season where numbers-wise hasn't got, I think, enough attention compared to other guys. He's the only guy who has a 70% completion percentage, only guy in Western New York that has that, at least over 100 passing attempts. 1,753 passing yards, that's top 5 in Section 6. 27 passing touchdowns, also top 5 in Section 6. And this guy has not thrown 1 pick. Maybe I just did a broadcaster jinx. I don't know. But even still, he's gone 9 weeks being smart with the football, finding guys at the perfect time and connecting them, along with not having a running back in Antoine Caesar, who was out for a good amount of this season, or Amir Caesar, I should say, 737 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. He's been a Conley Cup Player of the Week in weeks 8 and 9. He had a phenomenal year last year. Obviously, with this season, he had some injuries. He comes back late into this season, and he's put on a show. So now you got Caesar, you got Ganji, you have Evan Zankel, who has 16 touchdown receptions on the year, Tommy Collins with 5 touchdown receptions, and then you got to worry about guys like Danny Laris on the defensive side, and then Alec York, a Trench Trophy nominee, and Baron Schnell, who's a Week 1 Trench Trophy nominee. This is going to be a very tough challenge for Lackawanna, but I also think Lackawanna, with their athleticism, could make this a close game.
This is the best team Joe Lacotte has had since he decided to become a high school football coach. I mean, seriously.
Well, it's funny you say that, but I think the next game that we have coming up, you might say that with Barker Royhart's head coach as well, considering the season they had.
Yeah. Well, Bruning's been a coach before he left and came back. They almost had to beg him to come back and coach. He didn't have the greatest experiences there when he left. He didn't. But now it looks like, he basically put his foot down and said, "You want me to come back? This is what's got to happen." And to their credit, they listened to him. And thank God they did for their sake. Because look at it. Were they 8-1 coming into this game? They've lost 1 game this year.
Yeah.
Barker Royhart. So, here they are hosting their second playoff game this season. I don't even know the last time they played in a playoff game. When I was there last week, there was on one of their banners in the gym said 2011. I don't even know if there was kids alive in 2011 playing on that team.
Now, was that when Barker Royhart, when they merged,
Well,
or was it just Barker? It was just Barker. Okay, I
I
just
don't know
wanted
who
to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they had any. I don't think they had success since then, because I talked to someone in the press box. I can't remember who I was speaking to, but someone who had been there for a while. He seemed to share that same opinion that it's been over, 10, 15 years since they've been relevant in football. So here they are. So the game 4 that we're going to have today is Barker Royhart hosting Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton. Bill Brunning, the coach of Barker Royhart in his first year there, taking on Ty Harper. 3-time state champion Ty Harper from CSP now goes up to Chautauqua Lake. He brings Chris Payne, his defensive coordinator from CSP, along with him. This game is sponsored by Larson Orthodontics. Larson Orthodontics, located at 680 Fairmont Avenue, down in Jamestown. Top priority is to provide the highest quality of orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable environment. They treat children and adults with braces or Invisalign, and they are a proud supporter of local student athletes. Thank you very much to Dr. Larson down there in Jamestown. The game we have you assigned to this week, Chautauqua Lake taking on Royhart Barker. For Chautauqua Lake, there's a lot of talk about Brayton Gibbs in the year he had last year. I think he had over 26, 27 touchdowns, somewhere in there. He's only at 17 right now. That's because they started running the ball a little bit more. And a kid who doesn't get enough credit for the way he runs the ball is this Thandon Bensink. Now, he's at just about 700 yards, 9 touchdowns on the ground. Tough physical runner. They also use a guy named Eddie, and Gibbs runs too when he has to. Looks like Eden, North Carolina, Southwestern is underway here. Did you see that? Or
Yeah, let's go ahead and. Yeah, because they're very close. Oh, this is Southwestern Frewsburg taking that one up the middle, and looks like they already got in for the touchdown.
Look like Braden Fuller. Here's a replay coming up, and that's Fuller right up the middle, and they go to work quickly here, Jacob. So we've got ourselves.
Was that a number 4?
Yeah, Braden Fuller.
Oh, it says here George Marshall.
Well, that means George Marshall. Fuller's 7 or 8.
Yeah, Fuller's number 8.
Okay.
So already Southwestern Frewsburg going for the PAT. That attempt is good. So early on, 41 seconds into that game, they're up 7-0.
Okay.
That is crazy. And we'll quickly go to game 2. We apologize we'll try to get to the other games we've been previewing, but we had some technical difficulties before the start of this broadcast. But looks like now it is Orchard Park in Jamestown. And I think Jamestown's looking to answer right away. Moving that one towards the outside. Looked like that was Bonta.
Yeah, Chase Bonta had the carry there, and looks like Jamestown is looking at a 4th down here. 4th down, and they're inside the 10. Looks like they're at about, Jake, you got better eyes than me, about the 9-yard line there.
Oh, it's already a 4th down, too. This game's brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com.
They're going for it on 4th and 6, Jake. Huge call by Tom Lang where they fumbled.
Oh, man. Botch snap. Orchard Park, and they're all black unis and the maroon numbering. Able to get a big stop there.
Wow.
So we've seen
play of the game goes it's John Mika Jr., number 88. Defensive end got back there to disrupt things, as well as Jake Jenez.
We're going to game 6, and we already got a score here in this one. This was
Newfane, maybe?
Yeah, Newfane taking on Silver Creek Forestville. This game brought to you by G&G Fitness. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment with locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. I think you had this one, Frank. I know we didn't get a chance to preview this one yet, but your thoughts on how on both these teams so far?
Well, I mean, Matt Capon has been a man among boys, and you see him get in there for the looks to be the 2-point conversion there to put Newfane up 8-0. It's going to be a battle. I mean, we said earlier, Silver Creek had won their last 4 games after starting the season 0-5. They battled back. They're now 4-5. They won a playoff game last week against Randolph, a team that's pretty much run roughshod over them the last bunch of years. And they took care of business last week. We're going to go to another game here.
All right. Well, the scoring
Is that
continues
Wilson moving the
on.
ball on Gowanda. Is that a game that you're assigned to?
Yes,
You're
this
supposed to
game.
be telling us about that.
Wilson versus Gowanda Pine Valley, brought to you by Binghamton University. We'll stay on this game here. Wilson coming into this game with a 8-1 record overall, number 2 in Class D, 6-1 in Class D, with their only loss come from the Rifle in Newfane. They beat Cattaraugus Little Valley 22-0. They've also been an offensive juggernaut. 38 points a contest, and they've only allowed just under 9 points a game. They have 4 guys on this team that can run the ball, and they've had 4 guys that have run over 400 yards on the season. Michael Rubel is one of them, 703 yards, 7 touchdowns. Brock Lepsch with 10 rushing touchdowns. Ryan Huff has 11 touchdown receptions on the season. So finding a mix of run and pass. Vic Cusadas, he's another quarterback. Numbers-wise, not as much as Ganji, but he's also a guy who doesn't turn the ball over. 68% completion, 958 yards, 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Yeah, he might be one of the most improved players in Western New York when you think about it. The way he's developed as a quarterback, the way he's able to buy time, the way he's able to bounce out of the pocket and find an open receiver or just go for the first down. He's turned out to be quite a competitive little athlete there in Wilson.
Yeah, and they're trying to move down the field on Wilson. These teams played each other back in week 3. Wilson won 56-22 in that shootout victory. For Gowanda Pine Valley, they're the 3rd seed, 7-2 overall, 5-2 in Class D. They beat Frankleville-Ellicottville last week, 34-16. Carter Capozzi, what can you say about this kid? He's been lights out for them as their QB1. 3 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground. He's got 19 passing touchdowns on the season, 5 rushing touchdowns. Another key guy in the running attack is Winter Mentley Peters, who has 7 rushing touchdowns. And then you have Traylon Warrior, Cayenne Austin, guys that Carter Capozzi could throw to. Cayenne Austin also has 4 interceptions on the season. And then the interior, Isaiah Washington with 5 sacks, Jaden John with 3 sacks, and then in the secondary, Lucas Barrett having 4 interceptions. So those guys can play. It's going to be a tough challenge against this Wilson team. They got to make the adjustments they had from week 3.
I did see Orchard Park got going against Jamestown. They went down and scored. I don't know if they got the extra point. It was blocked.
Frank, you have the amazing honor as our live scoreboard.
I do.
And I hope that is up to date throughout the night. Did we have the McKinley one in there? I don't know if we updated that one yet. Okay. We got to update that one.
I'm trying to update it right now. We'll see what happens. But anyways, what else? So Wilson's looking to move the ball. Looking to score here on Gowanda. That Gowanda game, round 1, if you will, they really started slow. I mean, Wilson came out. They were on fire. So I don't know exactly what, how they approach this game. I know Medley Peters is he's like the guy on Gowanda. We talk a lot about Capozzi, but this is a guy who can play both sides of the ball. Very tough linebacker. Makes a lot of problems. Causes a lot of problems for opposing offenses. And then running the ball. He's just a hard runner.
I think Wilson looks like they just got stopped at the 1-yard line. Evan, do we have anything on Game 5 yet? That would be West Seneca East against Iroquois.
They're streaming that up. I gotta find it. Right now we don't have their stream up, and we don't have the Roy Hart Barker. I gotta look for those.
Okay.
We got a couple of streams that aren't coming up at the moment, but we'll continue working on them. This Wilson game is just on there. We're using the Wilson huddle. Looks like they're possible tush push here. Yeah, somebody went up and over. I don't know if they got in.
Well, they just signaled touchdown.
Did they? Okay, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, they signaled the touchdown. 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Wilson striking first. Why don't we head now over to
South.
Game 3 here. This is Lackawanna against Williamsville South. as they have over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. This game brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in, order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
And it's Williamsville South, all the way inside the Billies 5, and he just walked in.
Is that Lackawanna?
That's Lackawanna, buddy.
Well, how about that for a start for the Steelers? We'll take a look at the replay.
They must have been listening to us before the game.
I'll tell you what, when I spoke to Marcus Rivers, and I think I said this on a show a couple weeks back, Frank, when I spoke to Marcus Rivers, because I had a couple broadcasts where I did the Lackawanna game, he said his guys have heard the noise. It's not just the players. The coaching staff's heard the noise. They've been told that your team's not supposed to be as good as it was last year. And he's like, this team's hungry. Are there issues in certain spots on both sides? Yes, but we're going to do it by committee. And as the season's come along, you've had guys that have merged into key spots, especially at running back and receiver. And these guys are hungry. They've been every week. They're going to give you a very hard time throughout each week as they try to go for a 2-point attempt here. That looked like that was Michael Moore. And Will South, good job there. It was a high botch snap, but nonetheless, they get the touchdown. They're up 6-0. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're going to head back to game one. And oh boy, Southwestern Frewsburg, Frank. 8 minutes left in the first. Not even 4 minutes into this game, they're already up 2 scores. And they're about to make this 14-0, and they get the PAT.
Well, I got a text message from someone down at this game, and they said prior to the start, Eden planted their flag at midfield here at Southwestern Athletic Complex, and that's a no-no.
That's not a no-no.
Didn't Baker Mayfield do that somewhere? It might have worked out for him.
He did after they beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
But didn't he do that after the game?
Yeah. He did.
Yeah, maybe do that. Maybe do that if you beat your opponent and it's after the game.
Yeah.
We're going to switch now things over to game 2. Southwestern Frewsburg up on Eden North Collins 14-0. As for this Jamestown game, Frank, I think this game, I don't think end result-wise is going to be the same. I think this is going to be maybe just a one-score game between both teams, considering what this rivalry means to both schools. It's a playoff game. We know how the playoffs are for Jamestown and Orchard Park, no matter what sport they're in. I know like boys basketball is one example of that. But you know that this is going to be a very entertaining game. And they're facing a 3rd and 4. That's Jamestown.
They're punting.
Excuse me, that's going to be 4th and 4. They're punting. So that was 4th down. Now on the return, Orchard Park getting it past the 40 and close to the 45. They might spot them at the 43. But Orchard Park up 6-0 with great field position. They're going to try to go 2 scores. And I know earlier in our broadcast, Frank, we mentioned about Jaden Hassett. I know he's a guy that struggled a little bit earlier in the season, but that matchup against Jamestown, he was very big for them. In fact, they were up 1 score late in the game. You knew that the way the game was going, it's like if Orchard Park just gets this touchdown, it's game over. And he found, I believe it was Jonathan Puglisi in the far corner in the end zone late in the game. I think it was like less than 2 minutes left for the touchdown to seal the victory. And then on the ensuing drive, Puglisi gets the INT to officially seal it. But Hassett likes the quick, short passing game. They like to go fast-paced at times. And when we flip through this broadcast, you guys might be able to see it. But this Orchard Park team is for real, and they have a good shot getting back to the Class AA finals, getting back to Highmark Stadium next week. As I think we're still looking at some games that have not up yet. Barker Royhart versus Taco Lake is one. And I believe we have just gotten the West Seneca East Iroquois game.
I was at the West Seneca East Depew game last week before I went over to see St. Francis. Now, it was my intention to stay at West Seneca East for much of the evening. It was 32-0 in the first quarter with a lot of time left.
I was going to say what,
and I started to leave.
I was curious what that game was even at the half because I saw the end result.
Well, as I'm walking out, I believe it was Zach Brittenbacher who returned either returned a kick or took the first handoff or that next handoff for 70 yards for a touchdown. As I got into my car and started to pull out, it was then 32-16. And then I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm already committed. But West Seneca East ended up scoring 70 points. They won, but still, that West Seneca East team, their defense is just very tough.
All right, it looks like we might have. We'll go to game 5. That is
Iroquois West Seneca.
Iroquois West Seneca East at Iroquois.
He's up 6-0.
So West Seneca East is already up on Iroquois 6-0. This game brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high-quality student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.2.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. I also want to thank Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and Lewis & Lewis PC, located in 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo.
Looks like Eden may have scored, Jake. I'm getting a score from Southwestern. It's 14-7, Southwestern in front of Eden.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty quick. But that's what Eden North Collins can do. They can score on you right away when they have to.
Yeah.
So
that's a team that can play from behind. Right?
Yes.
That's a team, if you're up on them by a score or two, they can quickly come back and tie it. Banker rolling out to the right.
Looks like he's
keep that. Just steps out of bounds. So it's amazing that they've got this. Is it 8-0 or 6-0? 6, and they have the ball back. The Trojans, and they're across the midfield, looking to try and go up another score in Iroquois.
Well, we could stay here on this Iroquois game real quick. Or are we going to go to game 1? Yeah. Well, let's head back to game 1. Southwestern Frewsburg. I think this is Eden North Collins trying to go down the field.
Look like 18 made the snag there.
You said Eden North Collins scored.
Well,
might be in a little bit of a delay here then.
My apologies to you folks at home watching. The NFHS network is about 4 minutes behind. So
you want to hear a funny story? It's a real quick funny story. So my one buddy Mark, who loves sports betting, was betting on Game 7 of the World Series, and as the game was going along, he saw his money drop before the play happens, and that's when I told him, as we're going to look at this one, Brady Waring taking it for 6 as he helps his team get on the score and cut it down to 8. Back to that story real quick. So I told him, I'm like, oh, this TV's in a delay. So we know what's going to happen now. And he kept saying it throughout the broadcast. I'm like, okay, you got to stop.
Oh, because he's ahead of the time.
Yeah, he was ahead of the time.
Yeah.
Score update 16-0 Newfane.
Okay, so not totally surprising there. That Newfane is up 2 scores quickly here on Silver Creek Forestville. You're going back to game 3. Who you got at game 3? That's Lackawanna Will South. As the Billies now try to tie things up. Ganji hits a receiver. Is that? He's
able to stay up on his feet?
Is that Collins?
Oh, my goodness. What a play.
Waiting for them to put the 6 points up.
I saw someone have their hands up if I don't know if that was someone was looking as if it might have been a penalty, and it is.
Okay.
It's a face mask on the defense, though. So Will South will keep the touchdown, but I'll tell you what. I think I have that game here with Gowanda Pine Valley. I'm sorry, with Will South and Lackawanna. Ganji finding his man and able to take it for 6. As that was Tommy Collins, the sophomore wide receiver. He's now got 6 touchdown receptions on the year. And this is a chance for their first lead of the contest just over 3 minutes ago. Frank, look at the wind. Look at the wind. See the off the flagpoles. And I think that they just block it.
Looks like a flag on the play for roughing the kicker.
Another flag just came in. Did you see the wind, though? Those flags off the field goal post?
Yeah.
They were pushing inward.
I want to give a shout out to our camera guy at the Will South game, Josh Wilson. He had to kind of have an Uber come to the office to pick up another tripod for him because the one he had broke. So he quickly had an Uber come by, grab another tripod, come back out to Will South, got going just 10 minutes before game time.
I didn't know you can do that.
Uber's amazing. So they're going to have another shot at this one here. Now, it looks like both penalties were on Lackawanna, I got to believe. So we're going to stay here and see if Will South takes the 7-6 lead or an 8-6 lead. I got to believe they're going to go for one here. They got a pretty good kicker there with the Billies. Eden's kicking off to Southwestern.
Will this be Joe Kraus on the call for this one as well, South one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Joe Kraus is on that one. And then we have our Carson Harper, Tom Prince on the OP one, and then Norm and Brad Sieber down for that Southwestern game. So it looks like that game's going to remain at 6 apiece.
Wilson scored 13-0.
So Wilson's now up on 2 scores on Gowanda Pine Valley.
Kind of almost a carbon copy of their first game that took place in Gowanda in week 2. Now Gowanda's playing without Cam Slade. He went down just before week 1, and that dude's a dog. We're going to go to Jamestown Orchard Park here. The Red Raiders are at about the OP 24-yard line. Jackson Gray, the quarterback there for Jamestown, swings one out, and it's dropped. It wasn't really a great pass. Hey, there's Tommy Franco, my main man, Tom Franco, on the sideline for Jamestown. One of my buddies.
So some people in our comment section on Facebook are asking about the Lancaster Bennett score. We don't have the game of that one.
That's a WBFO game.
We can't show it,
They
but
won't allow us to show that one.
but we can give you the score. It is scoreless, just over 5.5 minutes to go in the first. Lancaster and Bennett are tied. Jamestown looking to get the goose egg off the board. Nice pass up the middle from the slant pass. I believe that's a Larrick Richards.
In and out of the hands.
Or was that incomplete? So they said that's an incomplete pass. So turnover on downs. Good stop by the defense of Orchard Park. As Will South and their matchup, Will South Lackawanna battling it out. West Seneca East and Iroquois have hit the end of the first quarter. That is 6-0.
Could we
in
go
favor
back
of the Trojans?
Okay. Are we looking at first down, Orchard Park? How about going to that Southwestern game again? Can we hit that game one more time? So Southwestern is now in Eden territory for the third time in as many drives.
Every team's kickoff has not gone past the 35-yard line.
Oh.
Everyone's getting great field position to start off for both teams.
Our producer, Evan Tringali, is telling me that they're getting great field position because the kicks aren't going as well as they had hoped. You're watching Southwestern Eden, North Carolina's on your screen right now. The Trojan Bears. Now, we didn't really know much about Trent Lewis because they had played 8-man at Frewsburg. Now that they're playing 11-man, people are starting to wake up to this young man who is quite the quarterback.
Yeah, he's been doing, I would say, kind of what Matt Capen has been at Newfane. That dual threat guy can be a very good power runner, but can also throw the ball when he needs to. But already Southwestern Frewsburg up 14-7, already in Eden, North Carolina's territory to 2nd down and 4.
There's Lewis under center.
And I think they just picked up enough for the first down.
I'm still trying to find the huddle, but
We got an update from Barker, Chautauqua Lake. We're being told that Barker is up 12-6 in the first quarter, according to Max Preps, you said, or Huddle? Okay. Max Preps. We can't get the video. It's not coming up, unfortunately, out there, but we are getting a score off of Max Preps. It's 12-6. Barker Royhart leading Chautauqua Lake in the first quarter.
And at the end of the first, between Will South Lackawanna, they are all tied up at 6.
Lewis with the keeper. 10-5. Is he in for his third touchdown of the second touchdown? Wow. Lewis. Those legs, man, they are impressive.
Absolutely impressive. Trent Lewis with a 32-yard touchdown. Incredible. As one of the reporters down there, Matt Spielman, is at that game. And this is the one thing that was concerning for Eden North Collins. We know that this team can score, but their defense gives up points as well, as we're already seeing in this one, already giving up 21 points.
Well, that first game of the year they played Maritime Tapestry. Wasn't that like 60-59 or
63-62?
Yeah. Wow.
But even after that, I mean, I can also just look up their scores. They've given up 50-plus points to Barker Royhart, who's battling right now with Chautauqua Lake, as we'll head over to Game 2 right now. So Jamestown has it back. Looks like they're well into Orchard Park territory. But here's how many points they've given up for each game for Eden North Collins. 21 in Week 1 against Lakeshore, 62 to Maritime Tapestry Week 2, 14 to JFK in Week 3. Week 4, they gave up 50 to Barker Royhart. Week 5, they gave up 34 to Medina, as Jamestown just punched it. Looks like they punched it into the end zone.
That's Bonta.
Have they signaled touchdown yet? Okay, so touchdown for Bonta, and just like that, they've tied at 6.
Now, I have Greg Larson from WDOE Radio, Dunkirk, Fredonia. Now, he's calling the Chautauqua Lake game, and he shows it to just 5 seconds ago. He said the score was 7-7. Chautauqua Lake and Barker are tied. So that Max Preps guy.
And here's a complete 180 of the field goal posts for this Orchard Park Jamestown. As that PAT is no good, but look at the flags on that one. That's pulling completely outward.
So that's interesting.
A complete opposite what Williamsville South is with the wind direction.
Question for you. Do you start just going for 2?
If you're not finding success early on with these PATs, I would think you have to.
That Orchard Park game, John Drobitz is your referee. He's got Edwin Streety with him, Kenneth Thrun, Zach Nikula, and Vince Joy are your officials for that Orchard Park Jamestown game. Southwestern Eden game is refereed by Al Feaser's crew. He's got Bill Caldwell, Todd Gagino Sr., Johnny Parks, the line judge in that game, my buddy Johnny. His son Jordan had a birthday this week. Jordan was a standout quarterback at Niagara Wheatfield years ago. And then Andrew Besh. Those are your officials at the Southwestern Eden game. Okay, so 21-7 Southwestern Frewsburg. Eden has the ball. Oh, my goodness. I thought Eden had the ball. Southwestern has it. Do we know what happened there?
I don't, but it was quick.
So Southwestern already up by 2 scores. They've scored on every trip, on every drive they've had so far.
Handing it right off to the gut from the 35 and brought down close to the 30-yard line. So Southwestern Frewsburg definitely making a statement here this evening, wanting to go all in on Eden North Collins early in this game.
You know, so I thought the marriage between Southwestern and Frewsburg wasn't going to go anywhere nearly as good as it's gone. I know Frewsburg has had trouble trying to combine with Randolph for years and other schools. That's why I wasn't sure this was going to – this has been phenomenal for both programs. You know, they're getting along great, and obviously you're winning. That helps.
And here's a chance to put more points on the board. Southwestern Frewsburg has now extended their lead up 3 touchdowns with a PAT on the way soon. They're already up 27-7 on Eaton North Collins. And speaking of sevens, we're gonna head over to game number 7. 97 seconds and counting to go in the first. Wilson's up 13-0. So they take the snap, trying to find a man, and able to stay up on his feet and go, looks like to be at the 10-yard line. I believe that's Gowanda Pine Valley looking to make a statement on this drive, get that goose egg off the board just over a minute to go in the first.
It's an important drive for Carter Capozzi and the Panthers here. They're deep inside Wilson territory, going on just about a minute left there in the first quarter. You don't really want to get behind 2 and 3 scores to a Wilson team that can play a nice ball control offense with the running backs that they have there. Well, you mentioned Rubel earlier, but also with Brock Lepsch. Here's Capozzi back. Finds a seam, but they're going to wrap him up right at about the line of scrimmage there. So he doesn't go for much there, if anything. Wish we could see how many yards or what the down and distance was.
Well, that clock's going to tick away. I don't know if Gowanda Pine Valley will want to do another play.
It's third down with their cadence in the second quarter.
Okay. The officials on that game, Kenny Harris's crew with Tony Marabella, Jeff Murphy, Todd Gagino, and Ray Speck Jr., who I saw last week up at Barker. Ray was a few years ago, he won Official of the Year for the Southtown Cruise. Raymond Speck. So he was on the Barker game last week. I also want to give a shout-out to John Huey, who's an official. Was fighting a fire not long ago and had some chest pains after and had to get admitted. So, John, if you're out there watching, we're thinking about you, buddy, and wish you best of luck and a full recovery.
We're going to head over to game 6. Newfane up 16-0.
Full control of this one.
Was that just over 8.5 to go in the second quarter? And looking to make it 3 scores. This game's brought to you by G&G Fitness Equipment as a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. With locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, visit livefit.com. As Newfane able to take it inside the 10-yard line. And they are so far all over Silver Creek Forestville in the first half.
Okay. The Wilson Gowanda game went to the second quarter. We'll get right back to it in a second there, folks. Appreciate your patience out there. That's Eve Masters telling us what to do. I love it. Okay, now we are going to Jamestown Orchard Park. 2nd and 4 for the red and green. That's Bonta up the middle again, fighting his way towards the first line marker, but he's brought down just shy. Looks like that'll be 3rd and 1 maybe for Jamestown, 3rd and 1.
And I think every time we've gone to this broadcast, when Jamestown has the ball, I think other than maybe Alaric Richards have had it, it's just been Bonta, which is to be expected. But when you have that type of athlete, it doesn't matter what the game plan is going to be for Orchard Park. Try and stop this guy, and they're going to have a hard time with him throughout this contest as Bonta picking up the first down.
You said before the game you should get the ball 40 times.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Looks like Southwestern is going down again to try and are Southwestern going down to score yet again?
They're at the 50, but they dropped a big pass.
Okay. Looks like you got Iroquois and West Seneca East with the Trojans with the ball there. I don't know if we can see the score.
It's still 6-0.
Okay.
Looks like we'll stay here for Jamestown Orchard Park. As that time didn't go to Bonta. Actually, why don't we do this? Because we like to do this.
Spain, or I'm sorry, the Gowanda game.
We'll go back to 7.
Can we go back to that? Okay, here we are. Gowanda Pine Valley. Looks like in the second quarter, Wilson calling maybe a timeout there.
Well, if we have a chance, why don't we just go to the graphic? We'll show all the games that are happening across If we want to go to the top 7 games, or we can go to the live scoreboard, seeing what we have so far. So yeah, so those are the games that we'll be watching throughout the contest. As we know, the one that happened last night, McKinley beating Grand Island 22-0. McKinley going to the Class A championship game, but we're going to go here to game number 7 as they get dropped down at the 21-yard line.
Wilson
But
has the ball, so
Wilson's had the ball for, or is that Wilson or going to Pine Valley? It's like there might have been a big game that happened at Will South Lackawanna. I mean, if we want to go to game 3, we can. I think Lackawanna's.
it's 8-0 Bennett. We can't show you the game.
Oh, here we go with Wilson. And he just got stopped inside. Looked like maybe the 10, but that was a huge run by the Wilson Lakemen, who are already trying to put themselves up 3 scores. Why don't we look at game 3? See what Lackawanna might be doing with Will South, and then timeout. Why not? Yeah, we'll pivot back over here to game 7. Yeah, I know some people have been commenting about that Lancaster Bennett game. We can't show that one.
It's 8-0 Bennett in the first quarter with 1:35 left. Lancaster coming in as the 4 seed, 7-2 record. Bennett 7-1. Of course, they had the bye last week, which is why they've only played 8 games. Jimmy Valentine just took one to the end zone. Are they giving him a touchdown there? Are they marking him short? But Valentine just had a nice run there for Bennett.
All right, let's move over to game 5 real quick, as
the Trojans.
Looks like someone just scored here. Was that West Seneca East?
Yes.
So West Seneca East is up. Is that correct? They're up 12-0 on Iroquois in a big road matchup. We want to head back over to the Wilson game. We'll see what.
Second quarter or first? Now I'm updating the scoreboard. I don't know why it's not updating for you though.
Looks like it might have a little technical difficulty with the scoreboard, but nonetheless, let's take this Wilson go on to Pine Valley game. Wilson looking to punch it in with over 9 minutes to go. Taking the snap, going for the reverse, trying to get it from the 5, trying to dive in, and he is going to be short of the end zone, at least about a yard, maybe a couple. So it's going to be 4th and goal coming up for the Lakemen.
Clayton Smith has scored a touchdown for the Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton Eagles. They have a 14-7 lead against Barker. They're in the second quarter there. Tweet by Greg Larson.
And unfortunately, we can't show that Barker-Roy Hart game because we don't have the huddle camera on, right?
No. Back to Southwestern Eden in just a second here. Oh, my Lord.
So, wow, Southwestern Frewsburg, not even the end of the first quarter, they're up 27 on Eden North Collins.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. See if Jamestown defense can get in the backfield there. Slow him down, no. That was 4th down, huh? And Bennett has scored against Lancaster. It's 16-0 there. Bennett leads the Lancaster Legends 16-0 with 11 seconds left in the first quarter.
We'll go back to Wilson. I believe it's 4th and goal for Wilson.
So 4th and goal here for the Lakemen. Up by 13, looking to extend that lead. And it looked like someone called timeout. So that clock will stop at 9:04.
Encroachment on the defense.
Oh, excuse me, it looks like it was a penalty encroachment on the defense. So even though the Gwinnett Pine Valley defense commits a penalty, it will just be half distance to the goal. Now bunched up, Wilson. Under center. Trying to pile drive into the end zone. No signal yet. Gwinnett Pine Valley acting as if they got the stop. And he was short. So the Panthers, with a big goal line stance, prevent Wilson from getting in. They're pinned very deep in their own territory. We'll see how Gwinnett Pine Valley can get out if they can. But Wilson got stuffed on a 4th and goal at the 1. See if we can move over to other action. We'll go to game 3 now. This is Lackawanna against Will South. A 2-point conversion as Lackawanna had the lead, and the play is now dead due to a penalty. This game is brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in and order for takeout, open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. Also want to thank our other sponsors, Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Brecco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top lineman in Western New York, and Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. So Lackawanna was the one that committed the penalty. And under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, have taken the lead, now looking to extend it. Moore trying to find a man in the corner of the end zone. It's incomplete, sails over the intended receiver's head, and Lackawanna remains up 6 on Will South.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, Lackawanna is definitely playing with a little more purpose than they had a year ago. Against Health Sciences, they just came out. You were on that game, were you not?
For which one?
Didn't you call the Health Sciences Lackawanna playoff game last year?
I mean, if my memory's not that great, to be honest, I might have.
You were Tanner. Called that one. I thought you did. But anyways, they just looked so flat last year, and right now they're giving Will South a game, and I didn't expect them to do that. I definitely didn't expect them to be playing with, a lead here going into the second quarter. They're up a touchdown now, and my hat's off to them. Marcus Rivers, you know what, Jake? If they win this game, he absolutely has to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year.
Here's now Jamestown with a shot
Oh, my
downfield, and it was almost picked off.
Jake, I hope they show the replay here. This went into the Jamestown player's hands. Watch this again.
Well, there's a penalty marker down too.
Who's on that game? Watch this. It goes into the Jamestown player's hand. Watch. Right there. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 8. Slinging it downfield, and it's incomplete. Another stop by the Orchard Park defense. Turnover on down. As we'll move back to game 1, and E. North Collins got back on the board. And they will be going for 2.
Finally in the second quarter. So we're going around to as many games as we possibly can for you. If these schools don't have their huddle cameras working, we cannot show you the game.
Which is why we haven't gone to that Barker-Royhart game.
Wow. Did Brady Waring not put that ball exactly where only his receiver could get it?
That was a beautiful throw.
Nice.
Well, they got a long ways to go, too. Down by 19 early on in the second quarter. They got to find a way to stop that offensive onslaught.
That's just it. It's not necessarily can they score points. It's can they keep their opponent out of the end zone. In the first quarter, they couldn't do that.
Iroquois scored 14-7.
Okay, so we're going to check out the Iroquois real quick as the Warhawks. The Warhawks? No, Redhawks.
Redhawks. Thinking of West Seneca West.
They are down. Is that 14-7 or 12-7?
14-7 Iroquois?
All right.
Or East. So Iroquois did get on the board, cut it down to 7. But now the Trojans with an opportunity to regain that partial lead back. Take that snap, running along the left side, along the left hash, and able to stay up on his feet and able to take it to Iroquois territory on one play. Some nice running, some very good blocking, and the Trojans pick up a big first down.
Jamestown, Orchard Parker at halftime.
So Jamestown was trying to go for a late score to end the half, couldn't get it. So both teams are all tied up and heading to the half. As for this West Seneca East team trying to get down the field, it's brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high-quality student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.2.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. I'd also like to thank Colvin Cleaners, West New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts and tailoring, located 2375 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. Call 716-873-2592.
So, well, we appreciate you joining our show tonight, watching this WNY Athletics broadcast of the Empire State EndZone. Jake, you've done this show every week so far with Francis, and Francis got called into production duty tonight over at Will South. It was either Francis over there or me producing, and you don't. It's like the JV team if I'm going over there. You don't want me producing the game, so I'm here with you.
We appreciate having along you, Frank, for the ride for this one. It's semifinal high school football. Teams trying to get a big statement victory, then move on to Highmark Stadium next week to try to win a section title.
Yeah, Tuesday will be media day. I know you're probably working Tuesday in the morning. Tuesday's media day from 9:30 to like 9:30, 11:30. If you want to come on down and join in the festivities there, we'll do some scouting, get some interviews. We'll put that all up on the West New York Athletics website later, the YouTube pages and all that. So
You said it's from 9:30 to 11?
something like that, yeah.
I might be able to do that.
Might have a cup of coffee there. Maybe some Danish. We'll see what the Bills put out for the media. And you've worked games for the Bills, technically.
Yeah, as a runner for them. Also did it for Amazon and CBS before.
Now, do you get to get into they put the food out for you guys too, or no?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What do they have?
Well, I think we just do
Good
like
stuff?
a crew. Yeah, we just do a crew meal, like whatever the stadium's making
For
that or press box, and then
I thought this was this is good stuff here.
Game 3 will go to. That's going to be a non-commercial. And then Newfane 24-0.
okay. So Newfane scored. They're up 24-0 on Silver Creek Forestville.
Now, for the record, I am updating the scoreboard for whatever reason, though it's not syncing up to your laptop to kick that out to your crew. So the Lackawanna sideline's going crazy right now. Did they?
For a first down.
Okay. This game reminds me of a playoff game about 3-4 years ago, Jamestown and South Park. And it was a semifinal, maybe a semifinal or a sectional final, I don't know. Oh, in and out of the hands of his ankle. But anyways, Jamestown was on a roll. Just steamrolling teams in Class A. South Park comes to town. And they just punched them in the mouth. They hit Jamestown like they had not been hit all year. And they prevailed. South Park ended up winning that game. It's almost exactly like the South Park Pioneer game last year when you thought Pioneer was going to run through South Park. But South Park came down and just played a tougher brand of football. And that looks to me like what's happening right now at Will South, where Lackawanna is just playing a tougher, more physical brand of football than Will South was ready for. And it's a 12-6 game right now.
And you knew that's what Lackawanna type of team can be.
Yeah.
Like they'll punch you in the mouth. They'll go after you. They'll be very physical. And
Not
they're a
afraid.
very fast team. Not afraid at all. But when you get into those 12-6 games like you see now with Lackawanna and Will South, those are the positions that Lackawanna wants to be in. They have been in close battles, not only in that game, but throughout the season as well. So go on to Pine Valley. They're down 13-0, just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Still the same drive where they started at the half-yard line. They've been doing it for 4 minutes.
So this is a 4-minute drive. They started at the 1-yard line
Wow.
as
Look at Capozzi.
Capozzi just trying to stay alive. Looked like he might have taken a sack there.
Nobody's able to get open.
And it looked like that was a 4th down play. So turnover on downs. Wilson going to take over with tremendous field position. And we'll head over and go back to 3 as we'll take a quick replay here.
Nice. Swing that pass out.
No, nice spin move too. Brought down at the 31. Phenomenal job there for Lackawanna. That was Orlando Taylor the third. We'll move back over here to game number 1. So how about this, Frank? This could be a little bit interesting. Eden getting a nice stop. Defense comes up big. But now they got to keep doing that throughout this contest. They're down 19 here, but there is a lot of time left in this game. A lot of time left in the first half to where maybe try to cut this lead to at least a 1-score game.
Well, that's where we are right now. If Waring is the type of quarterback that can weather a team back, he can put a team on his shoulders, and he's going to have to do that here. You said
Look at that
referee there.
speed. And Brady Waring, I believe, just picked up the first down.
10-yard gain, but it felt like 100 yards.
And that is the type of player that he has been throughout this season. Rolling out to his right, nothing's there. Okay, I'm going to take it to my left, and I have nothing but green turf, more than enough to move the chains. And when you do it that many times over and over again, there's this thing called fatigue. I don't think Brady has that. I don't think fatigue exists in a system.
No, probably not. Still 14-7 Chautauqua Lake and Barker.
So Chautauqua Lake's up on Barker,
Yeah.
14-7.
Yeah. Evan, why don't you try hitting that scoreboard again when you get a chance? Just seeing if it's reconnected for you. Francis Marty did something behind the scenes.
Some of it changed. I don't know if all of it did, but I do see some score changes.
Ooh, let's see what you got.
This is the update score.
So we'll take a look back at the scoreboard here as some of our teams have
Oh,
gone.
Lackawanna, Will South updated.
That's a start.
Back to game 1.
All right.
So for Brady, he's feeling that pressure rolling out to the right side.
Max Preps is wrong. Bennett is only up 16-0.
Brady
But
going
it looks like
deep
Bennett is
downfield,
driving.
and that is incomplete.
New Fane's at halftime. Still 24-0.
So New Fame went into the half. They're up on Silver Creek, Forestville 24-0. And we'll move to now game 3. So Lackawanna up 12-6. Here comes now a 2-minute offense. Up by 6. Looking to extend that lead to double digits. Able to spread that out. 4 wide receiver set out of the shotgun. And Moore's just going to take it himself. Rolling to the outside. Going past the 20. Got
I think he's got
forward
enough for
progress to the
first.
15. And that was forward progress. But see the penalty icon pop up on the score bug. We'll see what penalty that's on.
Bennett is now up 22-0 on Lancaster. And they're going for 2 points conversion, so they could be up.
Big play by Eden inside the 15.
And then halftime for West Seneca East, they're up on Iroquois 20-7.
Bennett now leading Lancaster 24-0. That's in the second. That's Brady Waring on the move for Eden, looking for someone to throw to downfield. Like I said, he does create a lot of time with his legs for his receivers. On that play, he just takes what Southwestern's given him there, which is about 5-6 yards.
Yeah, that's just incredible. He's fooling so many defenders.
He can sleep over if he wants. Have Aunt Lindsay call me. Noah can stay over if he wants. Noah can stay over.
So for Eden North Collins,
But I won't.
officially in the red zone. This is going to be big for them. Have to get a touchdown here. It looks like we got a stoppage in play. A penalty marker came. That was delay a game.
Wilson scored 19-0, pending extra point.
So Wilson, we just been told, has scored a touchdown to go up now 19-0 on Gowanda Pine Valley. As for this Eden North Collins game, we'll stay here on this one, see what this team could do.
That's blocked.
Brady's out of the shotgun, all by himself, and he's going to get sacked.
Wow.
Tried to scramble out of it, couldn't make something out of nothing, and able to try to pick up some yardage, but ran right into one of the Southwestern Frewsburg defenders. This is something that Eden North Collins doesn't want to be in on a 3rd and 16, but when you have a kid like Brady who's been able to become a scrambler and an improviser, he can find the deep shots if you give him time. But this is where you need them to come up with a big play, and it looks like they just called timeout with 9:05 to go in the second quarter. That's when I'll move to game 3. As for Will South, looked like they just got a big stop, and with 17 seconds left, well, it looks like they'll have to go for, they actually had a time on the clock, so 28 seconds left. So for them, this is like a half-minute offense for them. They're going to take a deep shot downfield, and it's incomplete. I'll bring up second down.
Probably because he was texting me, not paying attention. He's trying to get me to fix our scoreboard on our end, so I'm going to try and do that, and maybe it was my issue, or I don't think it's my issue, but who might argue with Francis? Ganji looks, hurls one down, and great defense again by Lackawanna there, holding strong as we're winding down towards the end of the first half here. That was a 2nd and 10 play for the Billies. Going to bring up, it brings up 2nd and 10.
And I know you guys aren't seeing it at home, but we have multiple screens looking at other games. Looked like Wilson on our end. We just saw that they scored on the 2-point conversion, so Wilson is up 21-0. And as we've seen Newfane, they're up 24-0 on their opponent. That game looks like both those games are en route to another rivalry reunion at Highmark Stadium. We'll see if those games end up how they are, as Caesar was the intended receiver. It fell incomplete. Thought he had his man wide open. So 4th and 10 with 13 seconds left. And this is interesting, Frank, because I don't know what they want to do here on this play. They could just punt it away. But it looks like they're in line to go for it. And if they don't complete a catch here, Lackawanna's going to have the ball at, looks like to be the 43 with some time left. Nope, now they're going to go ahead and punt it.
Was that blocked?
No, just a short punt. Rolls around. And wait, did Wilsoff recover it?
Recovered that.
Oh, my goodness. Lackawanna dove on the ball, and when the returning team touches it, no matter what part of the body of what team or what player, and Will South dove on it right away. So Will South's going to get the ball. They still have 3 full timeouts left. Frank, they basically just got a 22-yard play to get a fresh set of downs, but there's only 3 seconds left.
That seems to be the problem for Will South right now after a play you probably want back.
Well, those 3 timeouts aren't going to help Will South because they only got 3 seconds.
If they score here, this is the game changing.
Here's the snap. And toss it around, going to Caesar, staying up on his feet, and that will be the end of the half. No lateral attempt there as Will South and Lackawanna. That game goes into the half. Lackawanna up 12-6. Why don't we... We said game 2. Yeah, why don't we take a quick break as we got a mix of teams that are still in the second quarter or at halftime, and we got a couple games that are just coming back. So that should give us some breathing room for a little bit just to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have plenty more action of Section 6 high school playoff football here on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYathletics.com. You can link me later.
WNY Athletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Cha-cha's got you. If you've been injured, don't you worry, Cha-cha's got you. Don't you worry, Cha-cha's got you.
Call 648-3030.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Empire State EndZone semifinal playoff round edition of the Empire State EndZone. Jacob Fyock alongside me, Frank Wolf, not Francis Beck. Francis Beck producing the, I believe it was the Will South Lackawanna game. Frank, that game went into halftime. Definitely some games that have been surprising so far in terms of scoring. I think there's also some contests that have been really close to what we anticipated, like that Will South Lackawanna game. But any other game, Frank, that's really stood out to you?
I would say maybe the West Seneca East Iroquois game 14-7. I thought that game, if anything, might be a little bit more in Iroquois' favor. I thought maybe the roles could be reversed. But I could have sworn Iroquois struggled with South Park a couple weeks ago, or maybe they might have ran into a couple of tougher defenses where the offense maybe took 2-3 quarters to get going.
I think they did against Lackawanna.
Maybe that was it.
Because I think Iroquois did win that game, but it was only like a 21-14 win for Iroquois. And we have
that game, Bennett is really, really. I mean, I don't think they have Daniel Ahern for Lancaster, and I think it shows. It's 30-0 there right now. Bennett just cannot move the ball on this Bennett defense, and was a major concern coming in.
We're going to transition to Game 2, Orchard Park, Jamestown. So Orchard Park turned it over, and it appeared that number 4 for Jamestown was the one that came up with the play, and it was the INT. So Jamestown was pinned in their own territory, picks up a big interception. And the guy who picked up the INT, the freshman, Alaric Richards. What a key addition he has been to this team. First year up on varsity, and he's been a major impact on both sides of the ball. Jamestown taking this one right up the middle, going from the 15 and close to the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at around the 18, maybe 19. But this is a game, I mean, big rivalry game, Frank, tied at 6.
Absolutely.
And maybe a little bit of a lower scoring game than we anticipated, but even still, both teams are battling it out and putting their hearts out there for this one.
Yeah, this is one of those games where you're just going to feed your running backs. And wait for the other side to break. Yeah, not too many surprises out there, Jake, other than maybe this Will South Lackawanna surprise. That's a bit surprising to me, the score there with going at the halftime, Lackawanna with a 12-6 lead over the Billies. That one to me is surprising.
Just got a comment of what the Barker Royhart score is. Last time we checked, it was Chautauqua Lake up on Barker Royhart 14-7 in the second quarter. I know that was a game we were supposed to have, but fortunately the huddle camera did not turn on, And because of that, we fortunately cannot show the game. I think I know Chautauqua Lake
I
does.
don't remember them having one last week.
I'm going to see if there's another way I could possibly look at that game.
Well, the only way I can see it is the tweets from Greg Larson from WDOE. That's the only ones that I'm getting. Jamestown going deep. And it looks like Thagard might have been there. Couldn't haul that one in. Oh, it's number 5. Great defense again by the Quakers. (41-21) Southwestern Eden. 41-21.
Oh, so Eden Northtown scored. Still in the first half. Combined 62 points. As for this Jamestown team, looked like they recovered their own fumble. We'll see here if he got the first down on the play. If not, he was very close. No, it's going to be 4th down. 4th down, and he's very close to that first down. Maybe 4th and 2. So they officially listed as a 4th and 2. And Jamestown will be booting this one. This game here is brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Oh, and they went ahead and faked it. Jamestown faked it and picks up the first down.
Wow.
So for Richmond Vona, call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. And who else they gave it to, Frank? The one guy you wanted to when you do a gutsy call like that, Bonta able to pick it up. Ball's at their own 41. Fresh set of downs. Richards trying to move it along the right side. Brings a couple guys with him down to close to the 43, a pickup of about 2 yards.
Wow, so that changes things up. Tom Langer, where are they going to the bag of tricks? Updates are coming in, but they're not scores.
Third and 6 here for Jamestown. Is that clock ticking away under 4 to go in the third? Oh, thought it was going to be a fake throw there, but decided to take it himself. I'll bring up another 4th down for the red and green. So it's going to be 4th down and 4. Boots this one high. As that one is dropped inside the 10. Penalty marker is down. As Orchard Park looking to take it as himself from the 25. Staying up on his feet and brought down maybe to the 27.
It was Zach Dana on the return. I think they're going to halftime finally in that Bennett game, trailing. Now there's still a minute 45 left in the first half. So a player is down in that Lancaster Bennett game. I'm not sure who that is. They're not showing it.
So we're going to transition to Game 6. This is Newfane once again looking to score as he moves towards the outside. And he's in for the touchdown. Newfane once again piling it on, up 30-0. Over 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're looking to punch their ticket to the Class D Section 6 title game. Move back here to Game 1. Bennett up 36-0 on Lancaster. Southwestern Frewsburg, 41 points in the first half, and they're not done yet. They're going to try to put more points up. From the snap, taking himself right up the gut. And he got in. Another touchdown by Southwestern Frewsburg. 47 points in the first half.
And we were told that Braden Fuller left this game in the first quarter. I haven't seen him return for Southwestern, so that's why Trent Lewis is running most of the time here for Southwestern.
Kick on the way for the PAT, and it's good. 48-21. 4.5 to go in the second quarter as we'll move back into Game 2. Orchard Park
way deep in their own end.
With the snap and able to move it up on a fullback dive. Looks like picked up about 10 yards on that play. So this is going to be a 3rd down and 10. Only picking up about 2 yards. So from the snap, taking us up the middle, a nice run. Going from the 10 almost to the 15-yard line. I believe that was that Budney, number 10? Looks like they picked up the carry and they got the first down.
Pat Budney, yes.
That's very huge for OP. Looked like they were pinned at their own 5-yard line at the time, but now able to get it close to their 15. They're able to wind that clock down. It's this game between Orchard Park and Jamestown, brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience as Jamestown just recovered a fumble. That was number 57 that came up with the fumble recovery. Asaya Watson, one of their key contributors on the defensive line, comes up with a big fumble recovery. So Larrick Richards caused the fumble. Asaya Watson with the fumble recovery. And now we're in the red zone for Jamestown, looking to take the lead. What a big play for them. Punching it up towards the left side, Bonta just being a brute force, able to pick up a good chunk of yardage. Like I said, this game's brought to you by Richmond Vona LLC. They have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today or visit richmondvona.com.
You know, Jake, we talked about that a little earlier during this OP Jamestown game. It's you let your running backs do what they do best and just wait for the other team to make a mistake.
As you see there, the Orchard Park defense, you have 4 guys, at least 5 guys huddled around Bonta, and while 3 of them trying to bring it down, John Mecca was one of the guys that brought him down. They also do have a very young quarterback for Jamestown. Number 15, Jackson Gray, the sophomore. And now that's entered 3 quarters of play. That game is cruising by. All tied up at 6. They head into the 4th quarter. Now let's move back to game 1. As I've heard from my producer, the complete 180 of a game cruising along. Oh, what another big defensive stop for Southwestern Frewsburg. Faking the toss. And I think Lewis tripped up, fell down, and will lose yardage. This game's brought to you by Damon. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, the Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trent's Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. 48-21. You think this be the 4th quarter? No, we're in the 2nd quarter in this one. As Southwestern Frewsburg are looking to pile it on and get brought down at the 25-yard line. Evan, we just got this game in Orchard Park, Jamestown.
We're going to go check on.
See what Game 5 has in store.
Looks like Iroquois is moving the ball. They're inside the Trojan 20. They do trail.
Oh, some penalty markers just flew in.
Is it 20-7? Yeah, it looks like it's 20-7 in favor of West Seneca East.
I just saw some yellow laundry hit the field, too. I wonder what that was. So Iroquois is driving. They're down 20-7. So you get a big touchdown here, making things a little bit interesting against the West Seneca East team that's been one of the more dominant teams in Western New York.
Sorry, 28. That's an 8, it says.
28-7, favor of West Seneca East. Bonta finds the end zone.
Well, this has definitely been a complete turnaround. What the last time both these teams faced off against each other. Definitely more scoring, but what was the key part was Orchard Park coming up with stops and not turning the ball over. This game, it's been completely different. Orchard Park coughing up an interception, coughing up the ball, and Jamestown able to respond and take advantage of those situations. So Jamestown will be kicking off. It looks like they didn't go for either the extra point or 2-point try, but they're up 12-6 early on in that 4th quarter. We'll move over to the next game, Game 3, Lackawanna and Will South, and
looks like Will South is driving.
So Will South started off the ball here. The begin the second half. Almost a 3-minute drive for them, and so far they're moving the ball. They're in the red zone, down by 6. This game here between with Will South and Lackawanna. This game here, the winner will face either Iroquois or West Seneca East next week, as Caesar was the man who took that up the gut, got past the 15 and brought down, looks like to be the 14-yard line. This game here is brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in and order for takeout, open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
Last week we mentioned earlier that Caesar had a 180-yard day for the Billies, and they're going to really need him to get things going here in the second half.
And he's not played a full season either. Angie scrolling out, trying to find a man. He has him. Did he get his feet in? He did. Touchdown, Williamsville South. That was a big play.
Yeah, look at the way Ganji on the run there. You know, it's a tough call. Tough call. From this angle, it looked like maybe he did.
And the confetti's thrown out. But the game's not over yet, folks. But Will South has tied it up at 12, pending the PAT.
Has anybody made a kick today?
That was a great. Well, we've seen Southwestern Frewsburg hit some.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, botch snap, and I think Lackawanna recovered, so the PAT's no good. Playoff football, baby, all tied up at 12 in the second half. As we'll see that quick replay, and now we'll move over to the first game.
Southwestern get in the end zone again.
They scored again. Oh, my goodness.
Good question.
Or not even half. Actually, what's the total now? Because who scored 70 last weekend?
Well, it was West Seneca East, but I think there's been more. You got to go back. You got to go way back.
I mean, these teams have combined 75 points right now.
Yeah, but even first half though, 55. I don't think I've. Well, they're gonna go for here. They get the PAT. So 55. I almost jinxed it, but we got it. But yeah, 55 in the first half. I mean, if that's not the record, my goodness, I feel bad for the other team that gave up more. But 55, Southwestern Frewsburg. Frank, you mentioned about what the merger of what Southwestern Frewsburg football program, skepticism if how successful they were going to be, and they've been one of the most dominant, most high-scoring offenses we've seen in a long time.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Alex Colsty, who's producing that game down there, said that Southwestern has done an onside kick after every single score.
So is that what happens when you try to
getting the ball back?
Is that what happens when you try? Oh, they've recovered the onside kick.
They may do an onside kick and get the ball here.
Wait, are you saying they've done an onside kick and recovered every time?
Alex has said.
We'll see what this says. Yeah. And Southwestern Frewsburg just recover that?
They're trying to get 60.
Well, folks, I think I don't know if this came into play, but maybe flag planting before the game started. Maybe that sent some sort of message. I don't know. I mean, this Eden North Collins team can score, so that's probably another factor that's gone into.
Yeah.
But I mean that's something that I've never seen in playoff, and especially when it comes to the playoffs.
Wilson scored 28-0.
So Wilson's now tacked on to the lead. They're up now 28-0.
This is shaping up for a Newfane Wilson rematch at the Highmark Stadium next week. Now, that would be the first game. The Class D is the 3 o'clock game on Thursday. Now, what are you and Francis doing? You guys are kind of doing not this show, But you guys are going to do a pregame, halftime, and postgame show.
Yeah, pre, half, and post.
All on our social media sites. So if you don't have the NFHS subscription, or if you're not at Highmark, or even if you are at Highmark, you could tune in on your tablets or your cell phones, and you can kind of watch your preview and your halftime and postgame show, which I'm told your halftime and postgame show will have replays and highlights from the game you're featuring.
I'll hold you to that.
I don't know how that works. I'm told that's what it is.
But no, that should be a lot of fun. Back at Highmark Stadium for another season of high school football.
23-7 Chautauqua Lake in the third quarter.
Up on Barker.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, maybe you get a rematch of Class C, a rematch where Southwestern Frewsburg not only beat Chautauqua Lake at their place, shut them out, and not only that, put up 45 points on them.
They were beating them so bad, Chautauqua Lake shut the lights off with 5 minutes to go.
Did they really shut the lights off?
I don't think they did it on purpose.
I did hear the lights go out.
But that's the type of day it was for them. It was the Braden Fuller show, the Trent Lewis show. They just ran over Chautauqua Lake. They couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't stop the run. They exploited anything and everything about Chautauqua Lake that day.
Well, one guy's now exploiting Orchard Park, and his name's Chase Bonta. He just had a big run. Let's take a look at the replay here in just a second, but he's having a game where you knew he had to. You knew he had to be very good on the ground attack, and he did it once more. They'll show the replay here. Cutting up to the outside, had some nice blocking, able to push the defender out of the way too, and into Orchard Park territory at around the 30-yard line with a fresh set of downs. I'm also being told that big run play by Bonta was a second down and 15, not a 7th and 15. That doesn't exist.
Not yet.
See what's happening elsewhere. Let them transition over to game number 3. As a substitution coming in for Will South, Lackawanna. Will South, this has been a fun one. Nice, low-scoring affair so far, and looks like there's a break in the action. The officials are going to discuss it. Why don't we head it back over to that Jamestown game, see if anything big came out of that. Looks like they picked up the first down in the red zone at the OP 16-yard line. Jamestown showing 4 wide receivers, trips to the right side, 1 to the left, but the give is to Bonta once again, going to the 12-yard line, picking up about 3 or 4 yards. This is a spot that Jamestown would have never seen before, with Jamestown up 12-6, up by 1 score, and able to kill as much clock they did. Frank, I hope you're seeing this group text is what we've seen, as Jamestown is now inside the 5. I guess Iroquois West Seneca East at one point, Iroquois had a second down and 57. I don't know if that's an error or I don't know what happened. It sounds like an error, but someone decided to show it in our group chat. I don't know what would cause that.
Did they get it?
I'm assuming a high snap.
Did
they get the first down?
Yeah.
That might be the best thing
Stay
ever.
here at Jamestown. You got a chance for the Quakers to go up 2 scores, as they're looking to get up get up on OP by 2 scores. They lost 30-19 in the first matchup. I think that was week 4.
Yeah.
And I want to say that was the week after they beat Jamestown. The week after Jamestown beat Lancaster, they went and lost to Orchard Park 30-19.
Gonna move to game number 3 from the snap. Moore from Lackawanna. Oh, nice little shovel pass. But he went out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and goal. Back over to game 2. As Orchard Park got another stop. 3rd and goal. Jamestown has not punched in yet, but the big thing is the clock. That clock is now at 5 minutes. Now less than 5 to go in the game. And the red and green know what they want to do. Take their time. They're confident they can try to punch it in. But these are going to have to be the 2 biggest stops this OP defense is going to have to be all year. 3rd and goal at the 2. And
he's in. I think
he got in. No signal yet. Touchdown, Jamestown. With over 4.5 minutes to go, Bonta putting the team on his back there and picking up the touchdown. They're up 18-6. That's huge.
And that's what you need in games like this. You need your best players to have big games, separate themselves, and Bonta's having that type of night where he solidifies himself as one of the top players in Western New York.
So when you said from Gregory Larson from WDOE, he's at that Barker Royhart Chautauqua Lake game. End of the 3rd quarter, Chautauqua Lake up on Barker Royhart 23-7. Going to move over to game 3, 4th and goal. Michael Moore is all by himself, 5 wide receivers. Snap, pass, incomplete. Looked like he got hit as he threw the ball. No penalty markers down, and Will South stands tall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who was that game again, Evan? So Newfane up 38-0, start of the 4th quarter. Let's transition to game number 5. And we get a timeout. So originally this was a 28-7 game. At one point, Iroquois got a safety, so they have 9, down by 19. And Iroquois does have the ball. So this must have been just after they got the safety.
I do have a score from Chautauqua Lake. Barker Royhart gets a touchdown from Tyson McCaw, 5-yard touchdown run. They failed on the 2-point conversion. Score, CWB 23, BRH 13, 4th quarter. That's from Chad Andrews from Center Court.
Oh, Chad Andrews is down there
He
for
says
that.
to say hello.
Well, definitely hello to Chad Andrews. We know that basketball season's around the corner, high school basketball. He'll be having a big year covering that sport across Western New York. I'll tell you what, Frank, real quick. I do Duville
Yes.
men's basketball. They had an exhibition game against Fredonia State. Had some Western New York guys there. Kevin Thompson, Lucas Brown, Antonio Andrews from Fredonia State was on that team.
Wait, Lucas Brown's at Fredonia State?
No, Lucas Brown's at Duville.
Duville.
Yeah. I said Antonio Andrews from Fredonia State. And I believe there's another guy, Antoine Holmes, who played at Sweet Home,
Okay.
also on the Fredonia State squad. Oh, maybe I'll talk about more some Western New Yorkers who are playing college ball as
What's the matter over there?
as that pass fell incomplete. I actually saw a clip, Frank, of Isaiah Simmons.
Okay.
Is he former West Seneca West? Isaiah Simmons? Is that over at Brockport? I think he had a 90-plus yard rushing touchdown about a week or two ago.
Oh. Wow. So I got another, again, the updates. Folks, for some reason, Barker doesn't have the huddle camera going up there, so we can't show you that game. But if you're just tuning in, the Class C right now, it's Southwestern in full control against Eden North Collins. And Chautauqua Lake is up on Barker Royhart 23-13, 10.5 minutes remaining in that one.
Wilson still up 28-0 on their game. Yeah, I just saw anything on the Southwestern Eden score. Southwestern's at the half, I believe, right? Up, 55-21?
I did not expect to see Iroquois or West Seneca East versus Lackawanna. I fully expected to see Iroquois Will South at the stadium. Maybe West Seneca East. I'm not super surprised, especially after the way they beat up on Depew last week. But I'd be awful surprised to see Lackawanna get through Will South here. Kleitz takes off, and a number of Trojans get there to wrestle him down to the turf.
See how the Bennett-Lancaster game is going.
38-0 Bennett. Lancaster did receive the second half kickoff, and they're still marching. They have crossed midfield. But that, like we had talked about many a times, and especially Tom and I on the Western New York High School Football Weekly show, how tough that Bennett team is defensively, especially to move the chains. They just don't give up on any plays. They're super tough. Kleitz takes off for the end zone, and he's taken down hard out of bounds. And he's somewhat slow to get up. Trailing West Seneca East 28-9. And I believe that's in the third quarter there.
Yeah, I think it's 3:19 it says on that clock.
Mysterious noises from the...
I don't know if the mic picked up on that, but sounded like something was going to sound like a tea kettle.
Paranormal activity.
Frank's this place haunted. Somebody got to tell me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Here's now Kleitz rolling out to the left side. And I think he went out of bounds. I think he might have taken the sack there. If not, he threw it incomplete. So it's going to be 4th and goal.
Well, sorry, they can still get the first down. It's like 4th and 5.
So this is something I'm going to have to look into. But if Wilson and Newfane, if they play each other in the finals, I'm being told that Matt Cakeman, the QB for Newfane, and Ryan Huff, the running back from Wilson, played in Newfane together.
Well,
Before Ryan Huff went over and went to school at Wilson.
Newfane and Wilson are literally miles. Just
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's a pretty good story. That's a pretty good storyline right there. I'll have to, maybe do some information on that, talk to the coaches, because that's pretty impressive. Seeing two guys like that on both separate teams dominating, helping their teams try to get to a section title appearance tonight. So Iroquois does not get the job done. West Seneca East stands tall, pinned in their own territory, force Iroquois to get a turnover on downs. We'll go
Jamestown
and head to game 2.
Where the Quakers are starting to move the ball here. They are inside the OP of the Jamestown 20. Wow. Almost picked off again.
And this is where you need Hassett
to come up. Only 2:38 remaining in this game. I'll tell you, I would like to see maybe if you could check on Will South too. Lackawanna, where are we at in that game? 12-all. Lackawanna has the ball back. We knew how tough that Lackawanna defense was, so maybe I'm not so surprised the game's 12-12. I would assumed that Will South was up a score.
This is a game where I thought if it was low scoring and Lackawanna is either down by 1 or tied or at least up by 1 score. As we get a big play here, cutting to the outside around the midfield marker, Lackawanna picks up the first down. This is a spot that Will South does not want to be in, because Lackawanna has played teams tough. If you looked at their score sheets or even just watched their games, you know that they battle, and they also the games have always been close. So this team has a lot of experience of playing close, tough-knit high school football. And they're doing it at the playoffs too. Some of the biggest moments of those players' careers. Trying to come up big. Less than 30 seconds to go in the third. Lackawanna and Will South tied at 12. This time a run from the outside. Now past the left hash. What a burst of speed to the Will South 39. Another first down. That was
Can we go back to Orchard Park? It
That-
looks like some magic's about to happen.
That was K. Clark who came up with a big run. This is 4th down and 10. So they go 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left,
On a timeout.
and a timeout. See if anything else going on. Anything updates on Newfane and Wilson?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a monumental comeback. And I'm going to imagine they've...
Okay. So Wilson up 28-0 on Gowanda Pine Valley. They're heading to the 4th. Newfane. So Newfane up 38-0. Just under 6 to go in the game. I think it's safe to say for this game that Newfane will move on and will head to the stadium, Highmark Stadium, to appear in the Class D championship game, most likely against Wilson.
We're going to the Trojans and Red Hawks now is West Seneca East. It's been a while since they played in the Dome, but last time I was there, Sean Dolak scored a big win over the West Seneca West Indians then. Now they're known as the Warhawks.
So 2:26 to go in this one. This is 4th and 10. This is a big one for OP. Season's on the line, most likely here. Going 4 wide receivers. A snap. Hassett has a guy one-on-one, and he is in for the touchdown. That was a huge play. Jaden Hassett finding his man for 6. That's number 13. We'll see who that is in just a second. But one-on-one coverage, Zach Dana.
Zach Dana's 13.
Picking up the touchdown reception. And this is also a big PAT here. This cuts it to at least down the 5. You don't have to worry about another PAT if you get a touchdown. Here it is on the way. The PAT is good. So Orchard Park's now cut that deficit to 5. Just over 2 minutes to go in the game, and they still have all their 3 timeouts.
I would not.
I don't know about an
I would probably go
onside
with-
kick.
Honestly, I would go with something really shallow, something. I mean, what are you're gonna?
Maybe like
Bonta's gonna beat you whether you're at the 10.
I don't know the true definition, but if you do like a kind of like a pooch kick, try to pin it into like a certain open area that your guys could probably, if they're fast enough to go and get, that would be my guess, because we know who's going to get the ball. We know who's going to get the ball for Jamestown, and you're going to have to stop him at least 3 times to either get a 4th down and punt it, depending on where they're at, or 4th down and maybe they have to go for it. Just so, like, if it's like a 4th and 1, I mean, you're going to give it to Bonta. Yeah, so, like, if they do an onside kick here, this is going to be huge. Like, they have to get it. So we're going to wait and see what happens here, folks, because Orchard Park has a lot of options they can do. So here we go. for the onside kick, and Jamestown recovers it at their own 47-yard line. This game's brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. So at the 47, 1st and 10, Orchard Park has 3 timeouts. Here's a snap and the give to Bonta, who breaks through and is short of the first down. He picked up about 9, maybe 8, and that was huge. And Orchard Park has to burn a timeout. They got 2 left.
Can we hit that Will South score?
First and goal, Lackawanna.
Okay, so we got a couple of score updates. Bennett is up on Lancaster 38-6, 6 minutes and 6.5 minutes to go. That one in the third. We'll see what happens here with Lackawanna. Under center, taking the snap, trying to push that pile, still staying up, still having forward progress. And did he get in?
Well, the ball bobbled. Watch the ball comes out. Do you see that?
Where does that ball?
I mean, we don't hear a whistle, but a ball came out at the end there.
They said he was short. I guess they're saying the progress stopped at the 1.
Well, that makes sense that the progress stopped at the 1 because I think they shifted to the left. That whole pile didn't get into the end zone. And as we see from the other game, you guys can't see it, but we can. Jamestown picked up the first down. That might be game. As Lackawanna punches it in with over 9 minutes to go in that one, they take a 18-12 lead pending the 2-point try. That is huge.
You know, last year when we were at the stadium, I noticed players from Lackawanna came out to that game, and they just looked dejected. They looked very upset with how that game went. And there were a lot of guys on that team that are back this year looking for some kind of redemption. So for them, at least, I'm happy for them.
Lackawanna spreading out, taking a snap, able to dump it off to a tailback, and that's Nassim Dali in for the 2-point conversion. A big one there for the Steelers. That's the first 2-point conversion of the game for any team. And with 9:08 to go in the game, Lackawanna's up 20-12. I don't know if you want to head back to game number...
Maybe, or see if Iroquois closed the gap at all. Yeah, it looks like Newfane and Wilson, for the most part, are cruising. Southwestern Frewsburg is still, I don't know if they're still at the half or what. They're at the half. I don't know about that one getting any closer. Okay.
Looks like there might have been an issue with that camera as at a 2nd down and 5. And Orchard Park wasted their final timeout. So, first down seals the game.
Basically, this is the season. When it mattered? Well,
Bennett won.
By a touchdown.
Bennett won by a touchdown?
It was a close game.
2nd down and 5 to give to Bonta.
They got him.
And he's down at the 35. Should be a 3rd down and like maybe 4, maybe 3. Say 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
We're going to stay here on this game.
There really isn't,
unless we get
many
another game in the
coaches
red zone,
that use the clock as well as Tom Langworthy.
They got OP to jump.
They hustled to the line.
Oh my goodness. Well, folks, that is going to be the final nail in the coffin. Jamestown got OP to jump. They pick up the first down, what was a 3rd and 3. I think Jamestown just took a timeout. Just to regroup. They would have had to delay a game. So they got 2 remaining, I believe. No, now it's 1 remaining. But Frank, this is just incredible. Considering what week 4 was, Orchard Park had a lot of things going their way in that game against Jamestown, and Jamestown able to redeem themselves on this matchup on the road again, their second road matchup against Orchard Park in a big playoff game, and they are going to pick up the win here. They'll most likely face Bennett in the Class AA championship as victory formation for the red and green.
That's a hard-fought game. Was it 6-6 heading into the half?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, Jamestown just waited, and they bide their time and waited for Orchard Park to make a mistake. And Orchard Park was doing the same, waiting for Jamestown to make a mistake. But on this particular day, Orchard Park made one too many, and it cost them. And I guess Jamestown getting that fumble or whatever it was deep in Orchard Park territory was the difference. Yeah. And I think you mentioned it was the freshman that was in on that play. $44-6 in this Lancaster Bennett game in favor of Bennett. 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
And that's going to do it. Jamestown picks up an 18-13 road victory as you see the celebration. And a lot of the guys hugging their star player in Chase Bonta, picking up a huge victory. They defeat Orchard Park. And as the Bennett game, as we hear, they're up, was it 38-6 on Lancaster? That's what appears to be what could be our Class AA championship game between Jamestown and Bennett. But Bennett's game's not done yet, but they are up big on Lancaster. We're going to transition over to game 3. Here's a big one. Lackawanna against Will South. Will South able to punch it right through. That is Amir Caesar up the gut and taking their team into the red zone. Over 7 minutes to go in the game. This game has been very entertaining from start to finish. So I do have kind of like
nice run for Caesar there, and this is one of those drives where Will South has to score.
So from the snap, they give it to Caesar once more, and he got hit hard, but able to muster a couple of yards on the play.
Surprised that Will South hasn't really been able to get their passing game going, able to stretch the field. Like they most likely wanted to. I don't know how you and Francis do that on a regular Friday night when there's 20 games going on. There's only 9 games going on, and I can't even keep.
Honestly, when it's 20 games, it's all over the place. We'll get scores all over. So we'll see how this game is shaping up on the drive. If there's a break in the action, I'll kind of give like a half update here of some standings as it looks like we've got to stop in the action there. Okay, so Newfane wins 38-0. So maybe we can bring back the main camera up here in just a second as we get a break in the action.
What's the final? That's the final.
So we don't have the graphic up for it, but just seeing how games have gone so far, this is what could be the brackets for the championship game. Jamestown won in Class AA against Orchard Park. Bennett's winning against Lancaster. If that Bennett game goes final, it'll be Jamestown versus Bennett in the Class AA championship, which means that game would be next week, Friday at 8 p.m. McKinley won their matchup last night against Grand Island. Health Sciences and Williamsville East are playing tomorrow, so whoever wins that game, they'll take on McKinley. That'll be for the Class A title. That game will get going at 9 o'clock on Thursday the 13th. West Seneca East is beating Iroquois, and Lackawanna is currently beating Will South. And if that game goes final as it is, we could have West Seneca East versus Lackawanna for a Class B title game. That will be 5 o'clock on Friday the 14th. Then Class C, Chautauqua Lakes up on Barker Roy Hart. Southwestern Frewsburg's up big on Eden North Collins.
Chautauqua Lakes up 30-13 on Barker with not a lot of time left.
So if those games go final as it is, we could get another rematch, Chautauqua Lake against Southwestern Frewsburg. That'll be Class C game taking place 6 p.m. on Thursday the 13th. And then Class D, if Wilson wins their matchup, they'll have another rematch and another rivalry rematch to be exact. That Class D game will take place at 3 o'clock on Thursday the 13th next week.
So we're heading back to Will South, where Francis Beck is producing a game by Joe Kraus is calling it. There on the NFHS network, but you're getting it here. Live look-in is Will South, 4th and 7, the season on the line perhaps, 5:31 to go. Gansey looking, flushed out of the pocket, tosses one towards the end zone, not picked off, but it falls to the ground, and Lackawanna will take over on downs.
And this game's not over yet. They have just over 5 minutes to go. Both teams each have 3 timeouts left. We have seen Will South come up with some stops on defense, so there still is a chance for them to come back into this game. We're going to move to Game 5 now.
Iroquois West Seneca East here.
What is that? Under 4 to go in the game? 6 minutes?
28-9 still, but they can pretty much seal the game right here.
West Seneca East has a chance to punch their ticket to a Class B title game if they're able to get this touchdown. And if that happens, they'll face either Lackawanna or Williamsville East to take place tomorrow. It's rolling out to the left side. And that one falling incomplete.
It's now final up in Barker, Chautauqua Lake. Ty Harper, no stranger to Highmark Stadium, leads Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton to Highmark Stadium. That's pretty incredible.
That is incredible. Considering where this team was at the start of the season, you know this team could be very good. When they had that loss to Southwestern Frewsburg, you thought, oh, maybe, interesting to see what this team is going to be after that. But they kept going. They kept pedaling. They beat a team like Barker, and now they have a chance to have a rematch with Southwestern Frewsburg. I know that game's not over yet, but we'll see what happens.
Like the way they played against Southwestern Frewsburg in that first match. They absolutely were embarrassed, and I know they wanted another shot, and they're going to get it. I don't know where they are. Are they in the third quarter? Have they started the third quarter, Southwestern, yet?
They started the third quarter. Go back to game 3.
Okay.
Yeah, let's put it back to game 3 because this is a big one.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 1.
They gave them a first down.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they just said first down. So.
Okay. So Will South has to hold Lackawanna here and get the ball back, go down and score, and get the 2-point conversion just to tie it up. I mean, if this was Madden.
Oh, from the snap. Able to break free, though, to the 30 and down to the 32, maybe 33-yard line.
Bennett now leads Lancaster 52-6 with 2:13 remaining in the third quarter.
Second down and 2 for the Steelers. Taking as much time off the clock as they can. And met up. Looks like at the line of scrimmage. That should bring up a third down. And Will South just took their first time out. It will be a third down and 2. Just over 3 minutes to go in that game. Oh, looks like they did give him the first down. So, first down for Lackawanna, and Will South, like I mentioned, have burned their first time out.
In the Wilson game, it's 35-8 now. We'll go to game 1.
We'll move over to game 1 as Southwestern Frewsburg continuing on their success as a penalty marker comes in.
It's like a, face mask for sure. Horse collar tackle, too.
So as Russ discussed the penalty, those face mask on both teams. Or holding on offense, face mask on the defense. So that's going to offset, and they'll just redo the down.
Back to game 5. Iroquois had a big play.
Iroquois, West Seneca East, as Iroquois is trying to
They did hold them, so they didn't
claw their way back into this game. They trail 28-9. Got to be in the fourth quarter.
Yes, I think it's like 8:20 it says, but
How about all these road teams winning today?
Yeah.
Newfane's the only home team so far that's won.
Being told that Newfane.
Southwestern's up pretty good, so that should hold.
Well, Newfane.
Bennett.
Yeah. So, yeah, Newfane and Southwestern Frewsburg so far been the home teams that picked up wins. As for Iroquois, Kleitz trying to get his team back. And I believe he just got in for the touchdown.
Making things interesting at Iroquois. Not sure who caught that pass, but nonetheless. And they haven't put the score yet up on the scoreboard there. I'm waiting for them to do that. Finally, it went up.
15. Extra point.
PAT's no good. So that is 28-15 is our score. West Seneca East still up 2 scorers on Iroquois.
Can you tell what quarter that is? Are they in the third or in the fourth?
I think fourth with 5:46 remaining. Back to game 3. And a timeout. Wilson used their last timeout.
Okay.
Sorry, Will South.
Well, South used their final timeout. It's a 3rd and 1, too.
This is their seed. Also, Wilson final. They win.
Okay, so Wilson defeats Gowanda Pine Valley. So Class D is now official. Wilson and Newfane, a rematch in Week 8. Also know that's a big rivalry game as well. They will face each other for the Class D championship. That will get going next Thursday, the 13th, at 3 p.m. at Highmark Stadium.
35-8 was the final score.
Wilson won that game 35-8 as
Lackawanna down.
That's a big first down for the Steelers. They went ahead to Highmark. They were back, what was it, 22, 23?
Billy Geschel was the quarterback that beat Fredonia.
What year was that? That was against Nick Wickfield from Fredonia.
Whitfield's Fredonia team, yep.
Was that 22?
No, Whitfield was not the quarterback that day.
Okay.
The next kid.
Oh, the next.
Whitfield. Yeah.
Okay.
The year before, Fredonia lost to Medina.
Yes, I remember. Okay, yeah, I remember that now.
That picture up there was the day Medina and Fredonia played because Francis was distracting me while driving. We actually almost hit the Medina bus.
Francis, what are you doing?
Oh. I blame that kid for a lot of things that have gone wrong. Poor guy.
So West Seneca East recovered an onside kick. And Lackawanna, they're going to be in victory formation.
Well, it's 3rd and 3.
Oh, 3rd and 3, my apologies. Thought they picked up the first down, 3rd down and 3. From the snap and able to get to the Will South 49. That's 4th down.
I think you got to go for it, right?
Or do you pin them?
You have to try and punt.
I think
they'll have 20 seconds.
I was going to say, you punt here, you pin them.
I'm going to go for it.
This is going to be very tough.
I'm going to go for it. If I'm Lackawanna, I'm going to drive that time down as far as you can go, and then I'm going to line up and go for it and try and draw them off sides, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try and get that first down. So Wilson.
But if you punt that ball, how much time does that kill? What I'm saying is, if you punt that ball, how much time do you kill?
At least 10 more seconds.
So you would have Will South. So clock stops at 23. Let's just say it's 10 seconds. Will South have 13 seconds to go down the field. In what? Maybe 80 plus yards, even if it's a touchback. If I'm Lackawanna, I would punt. I think they would be in a really prime spot to do that.
I'm going to pick up those 2 yards and win the game. Is what I'm going to do. I mean, the way your defense has played all day, you got to trust your defense and assume that Will South isn't going to be able to go those 56 yards in 20 seconds. It would take a superb play. You know, it would take an incredible play, Hail Mary opportunity. If I'm Lackawanna, I'm going for it.
Well, they do have.
They are. Looks like they are.
Oh, they're going to punt.
No, the quarterback's under center.
Or is QB under center? Okay, so Moore's under center. So got a 4th down and 2. Go ahead.
Hey.
He fumbled the snap.
I thought he did too.
They did.
And they got the first down.
No, he fumbled.
Oh, they fumbled it?
Yeah.
Did Will South recover
A
it?
bad exchange from front to back. Watch. Bad exchange.
It's actually kind of lucky he went forward and didn't go backwards because Will South had 4 players back there.
Not a lot of time, but still. 16 seconds to go.
Because he tried to hand it off and it went off the running back's gut. And it bounced. So actually, it's probably better it did that because there's 4 Will South players in the backfield.
Yeah, that.
We could have had a Sweet Home Amherst game.
We did. Yeah, we did. So they got 19 seconds left. Will South throwing this one and having a nice connection quickly in Lackawanna territory. Clock stopping at 13 seconds. Frank Evans talking about that Amherst Sweet Home game, that 7-0 game where it was only
Did
one
they
touchdown and it was a defensive touchdown.
Was it early in the game too?
Yes.
That's the,
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
7
is that what it was?
seconds left
Okay.
in the game, scoreless. Sweet Home gets a defensive touchdown to win it.
and somebody just called their Will South or somebody just called
Lackawanna did.
Will South's out of timeouts.
So we'll see what's going on with some other action. We'll go back over to game 1, as it looks like Southwestern Frewsburg picked up another touchdown. Go up now 61-21 pending the PAT.
And then touchdown for West Seneca East now, 34-15.
West Seneca East is now up 34-15 on Iroquois as they are in the fourth quarter.
Southwestern Frewsburg scored another touchdown. They are up 62-21 with $1:30 left to go in the third quarter there.
Head back to 3.
Yeah, everybody was going to want to see this Will South Lackawanna final because there's just something about this Will South team led by Joe Licata.
Oh, they're going to go deep shot downfield.
Intercepted. No.
And it's incomplete.
Did he drop that on purpose? It looked like it was in the Lackawanna kid's hands.
That had to burn like 5-6 seconds. 7 seconds. Wow.
This is it pretty much.
All right, I think we know.
Probably short.
I think we know what play it is.
Well, early.
I think we know.
Lackawanna is playing back.
Well,
Try to get to the sideline.
I mean, I
Did
feel
a
like
trick play in the Lakeshore game where they threw it and they did the loop-de-loop, right?
yeah, the hook and ladder.
Yeah, they did.
Lackawanna's going to burn their final timeout.
Technically, if they're playing back, I could throw to the 30 to get closer and try to get out of bounds.
See, I think they would do that.
That's because they're playing so far back, they think they're going for the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Personally, in these situations, defense should be blitzing, not to give the quarterback time to think about it and just run around. I would leave up the chance for a ball in the air.
I think depending on how
Alex Golste's producing our game down at Southwestern, and he's not happy with Southwestern Frewsburg doing onside kicks after each touchdown.
they're doing it every time.
Well, seems like it.
That's a new move. The rest of the season, they're gonna.
Well, depending on how this game here between Wood South Lackawanna will go, we'll take a quick break. Just try to.
Why
Catch ourselves.
There's only 7 seconds left.
Well, I'm saying after this.
Oh, after.
After this.
All right. I thought
No,
you
we're
said
gonna
now.
take one now.
No one's gonna.
Here's the play, and here's an ad.
Okay, so they are going.
7 seconds, and they're going to roll out of bounds. That's Collins on the catch at around the 33. Looks like 3 seconds left they will have.
So they did get closer, which is the smart play.
I'm told you West Seneca East added another score. They should hang on to beat Iroquois. 34-15 is the score. 4 minutes left in that game. What do you think Will South does here? And does the play involve Evans' ankle?
They got trips left, one to the right. Last play of the game here. Ganji feeling the pressure. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to go deep shot downfield, and it is incomplete.
They're not going to give him one.
Was there a penalty marker down?
I don't think they gave it to him.
We're going to take a look at the replay here once again as this pass falls incomplete.
Did they get
And there's a flag. Oh, my goodness. Lackawanna commits
It looked like
the penalty.
The official was down in the end zone behind the play, wasn't reaching for a flag. The flag came from the sideline.
We are not done yet. We got one more play.
Well, 2 if they score.
Yes, that's also true.
Well, a lot more than that if they score.
Were they moving him back? Is this not on Lackawanna?
Well,
Well, that's why the game be over.
The flag is definitely on.
So it's pass interference on. Okay, so they're gonna go 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So it's inside the 20.
So it's at the 19-yard line
Oh.
of Lackawanna.
So now he doesn't have to throw a Hail Mary. Now he can actually have a designed play.
The oop-de-loop. Works every time.
Now you got people in the middle of the field to go around. You don't have to just chuck it up.
What do you folks at home? What do you folks at home think?
Here's the snap. Ganji trying to look for a man, and it's incomplete. No flags, and Lackawanna on the road takes down Williamsville South. They punched their ticket to the Class B championship game next week.
And what a story of redemption for the Steelers. Man, you have got to take your hat off to Coach Marcus Rivers and that staff to walk into Will South knowing that you were going to face one of the toughest offenses that you've seen all season. And to hold them to 12 points is just incredible. They absolutely deserved this game the way they played today. They were the better team today, and no excuses. Just a fantastic football game, and Lackawanna, man, my hat's off to you guys.
So with that, Lackawanna will face most likely West Seneca East as they're up big on Iroquois late in their game. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick break? We'll be right back just to continue on more of our semifinal playoff coverage here in Section 6 here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Empire State EndZone. My name is Jacob Fyock. Alongside me is Frank Wolf, as we have some games that have gone final. We just saw Lackawanna and Will South go down to the wire. Lackawanna won 20-12. They will now go to Highmark Stadium next week and play in the Class B game. Right now, their opponent would be West Seneca East. They're up on Iroquois late That game's not official yet, but they are up on Iroquois 34-15. Jamestown won in a low-scoring affair against Orchard Park. Right now, they would face Bennett. Bennett's up 52-6 as they are in the fourth quarter. So that's most likely to be a Class AA game between Jamestown and Bennett.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go with that real quick.
So it's
22. It's like 24.
24 or 29?
21.
I think it's 24. It's 2:28 remaining in the fourth. It's 29.
So Iroquois scored 14 points in the past couple minutes. It's obviously the equivalent of 2 touchdowns. So
It was 34-22, and then they just scored.
So they have now come back and cut this to a 5-point deficit. How much time's left on this one?
It says 2:26, 2:28.
Wow. I'm curious how many timeouts they have left too.
20 points in the fourth quarter.
So the Southwestern, someone told us about the Southwestern score. I think that's 61-21 up on Eden North Collins. So while we'll have this game, I'll talk about like the brackets for possibly the championship game. So Jamestown beat Orchard Park 18-13. Bennett's up on Lancaster 52-6. I think that's safe to say that Jamestown and Bennett's going to be the Class AA championship game. McKinley won last night against Grand Island. They'll face either Health Sciences or Williamsville East. Health Science Will East game is tomorrow at noon. Lackawanna just beat Will South 20-12. West Seneca East was at one point up 34-15 on Iroquois, but Iroquois put up 2 touchdowns real quick. They're currently up by 5, but it's definitely a lot more closer game than it was a couple minutes ago. Chautauqua Lake defeat Barker Roy Hart, I believe it was 30-13, and Southwestern Frewsburg's up on Eden North Collins. Last time we checked was 61-21. So assuming that's going to be the Class C championship game, a rematch earlier this season between Southwestern Frewsburg and Chautauqua Lake. As you see, the Iroquois sidelines, they're fired up. Their defense just made a good play. And then we have another rematch from this season, a big rivalry rematch. Newfane beat Gowanda Pine Valley. Newfane beat Silver Creek Forestville. Wilson beat Gowanda Pine Valley. So Newfane versus Wilson in the Class D championship game. Big rivalry rematch next week.
Now it's second, like 14 now, because they lost 4 yards. Southwestern Frewsburg scored again. It is now 69-21.
69-21 now, Southwestern Frewsburg. They punch in another touchdown.
Fourth quarter, I hope.
8:33 in the fourth quarter. Do they beat Health Sciences scoring record from this season?
That's maybe what they want to do.
Health Sciences put up, I think, 76 in a game. I think it was against Hamburg. So West Seneca East is getting pushed back.
And if they have to punt, Iroquois is going to have excellent field position.
Some interesting play calls. They did a jet sweep on first down, lost 4. Then they do a pass, get sacked for another 4 yards.
So they just called timeout. We'll go ahead and stay here on the broadcast side of things. This game's brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high-quality student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, the Mental Match with Sam Brecco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top lineman in Western New York, and Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. And a penalty marker just came flying in.
So they jumped, so now they do a 5 yards
It looks like it was on Iroquois. Also like to thank Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts and tailoring. Located 2375 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. From the snap. The shotgun. Benker is going to take it himself and trying to roll up to the outside. That's a big gain there into Iroquois territory. He's still short of the first down marker. He's at the Iroquois 46, just about 2 yards shy of picking up the first down.
That is incredible.
And how much time we got left, Evan?
57.
One.
I believe Iroquois out of timeouts now.
Said Iroquois is possibly out of timeouts?
Yes.
Wow.
I believe Iroquois took their final timeout. And we just had this discussion, do you punt it or go for it in the other game?
I'm always a go for it guy.
I think this one you go for
Yeah.
on their side of the field.
Yeah, I think in this case you got to go for it. You've also had, I think, because it's been also more of a high-scoring game, so you've had more chances and success to move the football.
It was also, it was 3rd and 20, and they get a jumping offside penalty, they get 5 yards closer, and then they have that run.
So here it is, game on the line. West Seneca East looking to punch their ticket to Highmark Stadium. They got a little over what is it, minute 50 we said?
Minute 57 it looks like. They're in pistol.
Looking to try and get them to jump.
I think he tried to get him to jump.
Watch the football.
Here's the snap.
Throwing it.
Benker, feeling the pressure, gonna go ahead and roll out.
The last thing he needed.
He is sacked.
The absolute last thing you have to do there is take a sack. You absolutely cannot take a sack there.
And you give Justice Kleitz, a guy who can throw the ball very efficiently. He's one of the top quarterbacks in Western New York. Now is going to take over at West Seneca East. 40, looks like 44, maybe 43-yard line. Maybe it looks like the 43. And here they go. You said 140 remaining? 144 remaining. 5 wide receivers set. Momentum on Iroquois' side. Let's see if they can get it done. And it looks like that was very close to the first down marker.
Didn't stop the clock.
Which is okay. Why are they playing so far back?
Wow. Just an incredible turn of events here. And you said Iroquois was out of timeouts.
Yeah, so they're going to the line.
Wow.
I think the clock is 1.
Final, Bennett 52, Lancaster 13. So that is official as Iroquois chances here. Looks like they're able to move some forward progress. Under 1 minute to go in this game. Iroquois, West Seneca East. Here's the snap. Kleitz going to move out to his left. He's going to scramble and able to push himself close to the 10. They'll say he's at the 11.
Wow. If Iroquois comes back and wins this game, that's going to really cement Justice Kleitz's legacy as, put him right in the Hall of Fame. Put him right in the Iroquois Hall of Fame, like tomorrow.
Timeout West Seneca.
West Seneca East calling their timeout. So while we have a break here, why don't we bring up our main camera just so that we have some news to make things quickly official. So Bennett won their matchup. So they'll officially take on Jamestown for the Class AA championship game at Highmark Stadium next Friday. Again, that game will get started at 8 p.m. on Friday the 14th. Another game that was official was Class D. Wilson and Newfane. They will play in the Class D section championship game next Thursday the 13th. That'll be the first game of 3 on that day. That gets going at 3 o'clock. We also have Chautauqua Lake that won. They're in the Class C section title game. Southwestern Frewsburg's wrapping up their game, but looks like they will pick up the win. Lackawanna beat Will South 20-12, so they're in the Class B section title game. We'll see how this Iroquois West Seneca East game ends up. And then Class A, McKinley won yesterday against Grand Island. They're in the section title game. They'll face either Health Sciences or Will East next week. But it's about Iroquois West Seneca East. What do they do here? As Kleitz is able to scramble and take it himself, and he is tackled down, looks like to be inside the 5, looks like the 4.
Southwestern Frewsburg defeats Eden North Collins 69-21. That is a final.
Here's now Kleitz trying to dive in.
Wow, this is getting good.
This is what football's all about. They're trying to signal if he was in or not. Or did he fumble and it went out of bounds? Well, I think because it was an official's timeout, wouldn't they have to blow the whistle to keep it going? Oh, that's why then.
Iroquois up.
Okay, that makes more sense. Now the clock's going to run. 1 man in motion, the snap. Kleitz looking to his left, trying to fire it in, and it's incomplete. We believe it's 10 seconds left on the clock.
Watch the amount of time Kleitz has to throw the ball. Like, he doesn't, for a second, even feel any kind of pressure.
You know what down this could be? Maybe third down? And
West Seneca East calls the timeout. So we have finals all around, right? Except for here. This is the only game we're waiting on. And then tomorrow's Health Sciences Will East game.
And that Southwestern Frewsburg game went final.
Yep.
So for Class C, it's official. Chautauqua Lake and Southwestern Frewsburg. That's a rematch from earlier this season. That will be for the Class C section title game. That will be Thursday the 13th next week at 6 p.m. A game where Southwestern Frewsburg beats Chautauqua Lake. Was that at Southwestern Frewsburg or was that at Chautauqua Lake, that last game when they played each other?
Chautauqua Lake.
Yeah, that was at Chautauqua Lake. Southwestern Frewsburg beat them 45-0 in their first meeting. So we'll see how it's going to go for the second meeting. But right now, the only thing we're waiting left is Class B, and then obviously we got a game tomorrow, Waynesville East against Health Sciences. The winner of that game will solidify Class A between McKinley and either Health Sciences or Will East. But this game, this is a big one. We've had a lot of close games, Frank, and here's another one. It's going to come down to the wire.
Kleitz. He has a
Trying
guy
to
open.
fire it in.
He had a guy open in the end zone.
That's a touchdown by Iroquois. Oh, my goodness. But there is a flag down.
And Iroquois believes it's on them. You could just tell by the reaction. Was it a hold? Was it a push off?
It was in the backfield, so it had to be a hold. Well, they're discussing. Legal man downfield? Legal man downfield.
So we're being told it's an illegal man downfield.
3 seconds left.
There's about 3 seconds left. I don't know if they might put more time on the clock, just to be sure. Looks like they're not. And this is 4th down. 4th down, 3 seconds left. Let's see what Iroquois got. Here's the snap. Kleitz.
Oof.
And he is down.
There is a
for the
flag
sack.
on the play.
There is a penalty marker down. Well, if that's on West Seneca East, that's a free play for Iroquois. Wow. Holy cow. Frank, this game's not over yet. What a crazy games that we've had. Orchard Park, Jamestown, Lackawanna, Will South. Now this game was possibly over, but because West Seneca East commits a face mask penalty, Iroquois has another opportunity. They'll get a free play to try to get a touchdown.
Nobody wants this game to end.
2 untimed downs in 2 different games to decide who goes to the stadium.
That's crazy. And look where they are. They're inside the 10. Here we go. Free play. 1 man in motion left to right, 5 wide receivers. Kleitz looking to his left, trying to find a man downfield.
Intercepted.
And it is picked off. It's intercepted by West Seneca East. And they will move on to the Class B title game. They will take on Lackawanna. West Seneca East, Lackawanna, for the Class B title game next week on Friday the 14th at 5 p.m. at Highmark Stadium.
Wow, that game, honestly, first off, let me say what an absolute amazing career Justice Kleitz had at Iroquois. To see it end like that, that's kind of tough. But West Seneca East, what happened in that fourth quarter? You can't keep giving Justice Kleitz kicks at the can.
No.
He's going to kill you. But West Seneca East gets it done in the end there, and man, we had an awesome night of semifinal football action, and we still got one more great game tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. It's Health Sciences, one of the most dominant teams in Western New York, one of the 3 undefeated teams to be exact. They're going to take on Williamsville East. Frank, I'll just say it right now, that's probably the best week of high school football this show's ever had.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, some might not be surprised by that just because of how intense these games get once it comes playoff time.
You were saying?
Yeah, I was just about to say, definitely the most intense games we've seen this season and even on this show.
You wouldn't expect anything less, so this time of year.
No. We've had 3 games that have come down to the wire. We had 2 games, is what Evan told us, that came down to untimed plays due to penalties. Will South had another chance at a free play to beat Lackawanna. Lackawanna stands tall. Iroquois has a free play to try to pick up a game-winning touchdown against West Seneca East. West Seneca East defense stands tall. Then you had Newfane and Wilson doing what they do, picking up dominant victories. They've been the 2 most dominant teams in Class D. A lot of people are not going to be surprised that they're in the Class D championship game. I mean, I would even say back in Week 8 when both these teams played each other, this is a Class D championship preview, and you're going to get it once again. Chautauqua Lake, Southwestern Frewsburg. These guys faced each other at the middle part of the regular season. Southwestern Frewsburg got a big, decisive shutout victory over Chautauqua Lake. Now can Chautauqua Lake with Ty Harper, a veteran presence Ty Harper as head coach, who's been in the spot plenty of times when he was at CSP, what can they do against Southwestern Frewsburg in the Class C championship game? And oh, by the way, we still got to find out what Health Sciences is going to do tomorrow afternoon when they take on McKinley.
We're going to have a couple coaches call in.
Really? I think that's a first for us, too. A lot of good things happening on this show.
Francis doesn't like the coaches calling in on air for some reason.
Oh, it's just Francis?
I'm blaming it on Francis again. But I got Bill Atlas from Wilson will be joining us, and hopefully Tom Langworthy from Orchard Park.
Okay. That'd be pretty cool. I know
I put a send a text out to Ty Harper.
Okay. And I know, I think Joe. Well, what game did Joe Kraus do? Was that Will South? I don't know if we would have a coach for that. I mean, Joe could also just call in for that.
So let's try and bring Bill Atlas in to the program. Coach Atlas, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very good. You got Jake Fyock and myself here. You're on the Empire State EndZone show that we do here on Friday nights, and we caught a little bit of your game. Thank you for joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. And that was a huge win for Wilson tonight over Gowanda Pine Valley. Take us through that victory, Coach.
It was a total team victory. I told him at the end of the game, I mean, right there is, what a full team victory is. And just thinking back on the last year or even 2 years when we took our lumps last year, all these guys, these 15 seniors, were still in the weight room every day, 5:30 in the morning, throughout the week, throughout the summer. And, everything just came together right. And, we played a great game tonight.
Talking to Coach Bill Atlas from the Wilson Lakemen. They'll be moving on to the Section 6 Class D Championship against Newfane. For once, it's not Southwestern, Coach.
I know. For the longest time, I couldn't get past those guys.
But here you are. And, Newfane, you guys had a game earlier in the year. And we both could say that, Newfane, had the better day for sure that evening. When do you start game planning for them, and how long do you give your guys to celebrate this victory?
I am giving them tomorrow, so they'll have tomorrow off. I will be at my son's college game tomorrow in the afternoon, and then as soon as I get back into town, we head to the Wilson house with my offensive helper, and we'll be there. Tomorrow night if anyone wants to stop by and help out.
Coach Atlas, Jacob Fyock, first off, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
This has been, I think, a very anticipated championship game, and I think a lot of people are not surprised, to see you and then the Newfane team here in the Class D championship game, considering what you guys did in Week 8. It's not only that, but it's also one of the biggest rivalries in Western New York. Just tell me through, what are the players feeling like right now, knowing that they got a huge challenge up ahead, and knowing it's a rivalry game which just takes it up a notch. And by the way, it's for a section title game at Highmark.
Yeah, they're super excited, and it wouldn't matter who we're playing, but definitely the Newfane game does step it up a little bit of a notch. And the Newfane game was really weird. I've never been involved with a game like that where the game was over. I was super happy with how our offense moved the ball. I was actually really happy with where our defense was, and if we would just subtract a missed tackle on every other play, we would have been, we probably would have been, with 6 minutes left, it was still an 8-point game. So,
right.
I think we'll prepare for them, as we always do, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Hey, Coach, one more on this game tonight. You got out to that, I believe it was a 21-0 lead going into the half. How important was that to just get in front of Gowanda, knowing that they do have a pretty high-powered offense? When that offense gets on track, they're pretty unstoppable. But you guys got out to that 21-0 lead. How important was it to get out in front of Gowanda?
Oh, it was huge, and it was huge really twofold. One is because that's what happened last time. So we had just a couple lucky plays when we were down at their place, and then before you knew it was 21-0, and they knew they were in trouble. A second part of that is once it's 21-0 and we know all they want to do is pass, that's when Koa Leopai and Brady Seeley, my DNs, pin their ears back and they start getting after the quarterback.
All right, Coach, we'll let you celebrate this one, and if I get a chance, I'll try to get out there to the Wilson House tonight or maybe even sometime Sunday. But congratulations on the win, and we will see you Tuesday at Highmark Stadium for Media Day.
All right, thank you. Great talking to you.
Sir, that was Coach Bill Atlas of the Wilson Lakemen. They are heading to Highmark Stadium to play Newfane in the Class D Championship next week.
Well, let's go ahead and bring back up the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. We got our guy Joe Kraus, who was on the call for a very good game.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you guys for calling in and just talk about what that game was like.
Post game. Hey guys, big win tonight. Lackawanna only got 20-12 over Wolf South. You guys probably were watching the fish. And yeah, Lackawanna, like we have seen all year, like we have seen in the past, is really strong running teams. It seemed Dolly had about 150 yards, might be a little bit over. Really strong game, had a big touchdown. Michael Moore with 2 rushing scores. Louisville South, they had some big plays as well offensively. Tommy Collins had a pair of touchdown catches, and the Billies had some chances late. Unfortunately, they had some drops. One that would have been for a score. Billies missed an extra point. Lackawanna missed some special teams points as well. Just a good, hard-fought game. And for Marcus Rivers, now in his 3rd year as head coach, he played for the Steelers. He was a part of Adam Tardif's staff for a very long time, including 2022, when they made their last big run into the state tournament. And now they're going back to Highmark. Lackawanna have now won 6 straight. We're 2-2 after week 4, and just a really hard-fought game between both teams.
Yeah, and then that Lackawanna Will South game, that was actually one of 3 games we showcased tonight on the Empire State EndZone that really came down the wire, and it was actually one of 2 games where the game ended on a free play. You want to take us through that, just the craziness that Will South had on an opportunity on a free play towards the end of that game?
Yeah, Lackawanna, they're pretty solid defensively all night, and it was just one of those calls down the stretch. Gansey was rolling out, and yes, they called the penalty against Lackawanna. Williamsville South got a free play, and it was again a pretty good ball on the last play with no time on the clock. Makai Scott was able to knock it down, and you said it, Jake. There were a lot of really close games tonight. A lot of games that went down to the wire, and tonight here, Williamsville was another example of that. And really, one of the storylines too. Both high schools have coaches that played here in Western New York. Both played locally at the college level at UB, and then had some time in the NFL. That's a pretty interesting storyline too. But Lackawanna, Kurt Stevens with a big sack late. DeAndre Gatson with 8 tackles, a team high 8 tackles. Lackawanna was able to make the plays that they had to make. Will South had some chances too, but in the end, there's only one winner, and tonight it came out to Lackawanna.
Joe Kraus joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. He did the play-by-play duties of the semifinal game between Lackawanna and Williamsville South. Joe, I appreciate you calling in. Sure you had a great call, and thank you for calling in and just giving us a quick synopsis of the game.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Joe Kraus there. Lackawanna, close battle against against Williamsville South, picking up that 20-12 victory. They'll play West Seneca East in the Class B championship game. We'll just run through this one more time. I'm sorry we don't have a graphic up there, or do we got someone else that might be calling in, Frank?
We're going to be bringing in Tom Langworthy from Jamestown, the head coach there. Coach, good evening. Welcome. You're on the Empire State EndZone show with Jake Fyock and myself, the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline after that big win over Orchard Park. What's going through how's the team bus ride home, Coach?
We're having a good time on this bus ride. Guys are singing, dancing, telling stories, and just enjoying it. That was told them after the game. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy these moments. You have to work hard to get to where we are. You have to work really hard to get to the stadium, and that was one of our goals, is to get back there. And I just wanted them to enjoy it, take it all in, and just be in the moment before we start thinking about the next thing.
It was 6-6 at the half. What did you say to your team in that locker room? And were you just waiting for an opportunity or a big play, a turnover? What was it, Coach?
Well, I thought our Orchard Park played really tough against the run, so we were talking about different solutions, different answers we could come up with. So there was a lot of talking with the players and the coaches, and we just felt like we needed to stay true to who we were and run the ball and behind our line and chase the line and Chase and Allard Richards are the guys who offensively and been able to produce for us all year, and we didn't want to deviate from that. So but we felt like it was important that we stayed committed to that.
Jake's got a question for you.
Coach Langworthy, Jacob Fyock, first of all, congratulations on the win, heading back to Highmark Stadium. I know you mentioned one of those guys that really stepped up today, and there's not a lot of guys that you could say that are in their freshman year and are having really successful years, but Alaric Richards has been one of them. I know you and I spoke like earlier in the season about him when you first played Orchard Park, your first meeting, but what has this progression been since that first meeting with OP and since then? Because it seems like he's really taken up his game a step.
Yeah, he's extremely coachable, high character, always wants to get better, will ask questions where you know he's thinking about it. Like the question itself tells you he's thinking deeply about his assignment and what it entails based off of different alignments and stuff like that. So high character, very coachable, outstanding student athlete, the full package. And I feel like when you have a young guy that is on your team, it's not just about the talent. It's about the talent, the habits, and the character. And when you have all three, then you have somebody special like Alaric. I'm super proud of him. And, it's just really great. And I know he's just elated that he can help the team get to this point.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you this Tuesday at Media Day. Congratulations to your staff and the entire program there at Jamestown. And we'll see you Tuesday.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you Tuesday.
Yep. Bye. Okay, we are going to be going to Ty Harper from Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton, as Ty Harper's coming in just a second here. Queuing him up.
Hello.
Ty Harper, how are you, sir?
Frank, what's going on, man? I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Well, not too bad. You got Jake Fyock and myself here on the Empire State EndZone show. And my goodness, how many times have you coached a game at Highmark Stadium?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
6?
This is 5, I believe.
5? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you got to be pretty proud of the job you guys did. Your coaching staff and got these guys to buy in to what you guys have been doing for years and years. Today, though, you guys went up and took down a team that was playing at a very high level. They took down the Class C Class C reigning champion in Salamanca last week convincingly, and then your team went up there, and I know it's a long ride. A lot of things can enter a young kid's head. How did you settle the team down on that bus ride to get them ready for tonight's game?
I'll tell you what, man. Like you said, I'm just so proud of our guys. They've really just bought into everything that we've asked them to do. A totally new system on offense and defense, and it really started back in March when we first got together. I just can't say enough about these kids, man. I think they were super hungry after the way their season ended last year, and I'll say this, man, like they were good before we got here. Like we didn't have any magic for them. Like we just wanted to add value to what they were already doing, and it's a credit to them that they were willing to buy in and be coached, and I couldn't be any prouder of them. But yeah, we saw a lot of adversity tonight. We saw a lot of adversity this week. Man, we had some guys banged up. We had some guys with with some personal things going on, and kind of banded together this week at practice and said, hey man, let's go up there and stick together and try and cut this thing out. And they did. To the credit of these kids, man, they've gotten better and better this season, and I couldn't be any prouder of a group of kids for the way they handled adversity this week.
Well, Coach, I know you're excited, and those kids got to be really excited. I just want to congratulate you. We're looking forward to seeing you guys Tuesday night, or Tuesday morning, I should say, at Highmark Stadium for Media Day, and just wish you the best of luck and stay healthy. And congratulations, you guys, and give the guys a high five for us.
Appreciate it, Frank. Thank you very much. Will do. Go Birds.
Yes, sir. That was Ty Harper from the Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton team. He's heading back home on the bus with his team, the Eagles, after their big win against Barker Royhart. And it looks like we're going to be going to Marcus Rivers.
We do. We got Marcus Rivers on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. Marcus, first of all, congratulations on getting back to the section title game. This one in Class B, you pick up a big win over Williamsville South. What were the big takeaways that you saw from your team that really stood out?
I'll just say just like the preparation for this game. Kids call me all hours of the night, just, oh, coach, I watched film. Like, yes, I am watching film too, and trying to tell me what they ran. So I'm just glad that the kids were locked in this week and understanding how important it is for everyone. Because like we always tell our seniors, there's no tomorrow, and your destiny is in your hands.
Coach, I talked to you a couple times earlier this season. One of the big things that you've told me, and in fact, the key word you mentioned to me about to describe these players is hungry. And it seems that throughout this season and even up to this point and now heading into the section title game, that has been the same mantra with this team. This players are not only preparing themselves, but they're getting hungry. They're getting ready to go into battle. They've been very tough against some of the best teams here in Western New York. What do you think's been the real key for that as they've kept that consistently?
I'll say it started in the beginning of the year. Our kids on social media all the time, so that consumes them. And just listening and hearing whispers about us not being the same Lackawanna team of old because of all the guys that graduated and our two special guys that transferred to St. Francis, and just having that chip on their shoulder and understanding like how important this game is to them. So I feel like they started off since day one at camp, but even in the spring, they kept saying, "Coach, this is our year. This is our year." And like I said, only people who need to believe in you is the guys in our circle. So just keep believing, keep fighting, and keep working.
Marcus Rivers, the head coach for Lackawanna football here on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. We got my colleague Frank Wolf has got a question for you.
Hey, Marcus, congratulations on the big win tonight for you and your program. I know last year, Marcus, and we spoke about this at training camp. I think I was out there for one of your first practices, and I know that the guys didn't leave it all on the field last year against Health Sciences. They just didn't come out ready to go. What did you say to your team today before they took the field against Will South to get them ready so they were, ready to go right out the get-go?
Just basically, I've been starting this thing where I tell them, look left, look right, look at your brother in his eyes, and I make them shake each other's hands and tell them, is this your last road? Is this the last time we watch film? Is this the last time we ever be together? And I'm just telling them, just showing them that, like, at the end of the day, this will be the last time you guys ever played with each other. How important is it? Do you want another week with your brother that you call that's your best friend, your brother, your everything? So just putting everything on the line and understanding that, like I said, tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Well, Coach, I know that it's a long time coming, but you've done it. You've gotten your team back to Highmark Stadium, and like you said, and I'm one of those guys that thought you guys lost a heck of a lot, and it was going to take the world, take a huge effort for you guys to get back to Highmark this year, especially after what you guys graduated. But you guys did it. You proved a lot of people wrong, but you still got another river to cross, and I'm looking forward to seeing you Tuesday at Media Day.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate all the love that you sent our way with our boys during Media Day in the summer. And like I said, just keep the ball rolling. We got another week to work, so I'm just happy for the boys. But it's only a 24-hour window, and then we can just get ready to roll.
Marcus Rivers joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. Coach, we'll let you go. I appreciate you calling in late here to talk about the game real quick, and good luck to you guys next week.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Marcus Rivers there, head coach for Lackawanna. His team taking down Williamsville South. They punched their ticket to the Class B title game, but they got one more road ahead, taking on West Seneca East.
What was the biggest surprise at all these games tonight, would you say? Is it the Lackawanna game, or is it West Seneca East, or another one?
I will be honest. I didn't think that Eden North Collins game was going to be that big of a blowout.
Okay.
I thought that was going to be a shootout, and technically it was because Southwestern Frewsburg put points up on the board. Eden North Collins did not put up enough as I thought I anticipated. I thought this was going to be like a 42-35 game. and we did not get that. And I'll even go through the stats here. In fact, Matt Spielman was tweeting the game out throughout the contest. Again, this is just the first half alone. Braden Fuller had 10 carries for 160 yards. That was before he got hurt, because Braden Fuller left that game with an injury. Trent Lewis, this is first half stats, by the way. 10 carries, 91 yards, 3 touchdowns. Miles Torres, 8 carries for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. They ran for 384 yards. And if you kept watching that game, you saw the onside kick onslaught. At that time in the first half, they had 4. So there's no final stats after that that I'm not seeing, but they probably had more onside kicks after that. And then to end the game, as I'll try to look here real quick, Southwestern Frewsburg ran for 539 yards.
And that's
I know
what's
this
crazy about that. They didn't have like 80-yard drive starts. They were starting from like the 45, 50, and 45-yard line.
But they also lost Braden Fuller.
Yeah.
So they still tacked on more than 200 yards after that in the second half, which I thought was surprising. And I will say this, North Carolina's defense, if you saw them play, you know that they give up points. I didn't think they were going to give up this much.
I thought this game could go bad after the way the Barker defense held that offense in check week 3 or 4, whenever they played. I thought it could have a similar outcome. I'm not this outcome. 24-10.
Okay, yeah.
34-17, something like that. This was definitely a one-sided game, especially into that second half.
Mm-hmm.
They really pulled away. The one game that really I'm not surprised by the Bennett game.
No, I'm not surprised either.
The Orchard Park Jamestown was a pick'em game. Either one could have won there.
I will say that was, I think in terms of scoring, it might have been a little bit lower than anticipated, because those teams can score.
Yeah.
But those defenses came up big for both their teams, and it was going to be a close battle.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if it doesn't surprise me Jamestown won. I wouldn't have been surprised if Orchard Park won.
Yeah.
We knew Newfane was going to win. We knew Wilson was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Barker Chautauqua Lake, that was another toss-up game. Chautauqua Lake with the head coaching experience in big games with Ty Harper, with the offense that they have, with the ability to move the ball the way they can, and then Barker Royhart had just been playing at a different level for most of the season. They went through some adversity. They lost, I think, the Newfane early in the year. Did they not?
Barker Royhart?
Yeah. Did they play?
I don't know if they played.
I thought they lost to Newfane.
Newfane, but anyway,
that game was almost a pick'em game. I thought it might
Yeah.
be a little bit too big of a moment for Barker Royhart. But Chautauqua Lake, I'm not super surprised there. I am surprised Lackawanna beat Will South, and I'm somewhat surprised West Seneca East beat Iroquois. Now, after last week, watching West Seneca East Depew, I could see it now, but they were giving that game back to Iroquois.
Yeah, they were. I don't know what I thought at the beginning of Lackawanna Will South. I would say in the beginning, Will South, I would have said yes. But once I saw that game, low scoring, once I saw Lackawanna still in it throughout the game, I figured, okay, I think Lackawanna's going to win it, because
letting them hang around.
That's what they've been all season. They've hung around.
Pioneer.
Yep, twice now against Pioneer.
Pioneer, Will South, but South Park too, and
Olean, Iroquois, and they lost against, I believe, Iroquois.
Iroquois beat them.
Yeah, but they only lost by a touchdown. So you've had games where they've been competitive in, granted, low-scoring games compared to other games we've seen across Section 6, but they've always been either one-score games or they won by one-score games. They've been competitive, and they have this type of, it's weird to say experience because they've lost so many guys, but they somehow, I don't know if it's the coaching staff, I'll say it's the coaching staff probably, that when it comes to close games, these guys stay level-headed and just stick to the game plan. They trust the coaching staff. They trust the game plan. You heard what Marcus Rivers said about game film. Players talking about game film all week, and they have throughout the season. These guys are going to make it really tough on West Seneca East.
Yeah.
They're going to make it very, very tough.
They are. We're in for some really good games, I think, at Highmark next week. Real quick before we wrap up, quick thought on tomorrow's game, Health Sciences and Will East.
That's
12 noon kickoff at all.
That's going to be the biggest challenge Williamsville East has ever faced this year.
Without a doubt. It was.
I don't know.
Game last time out.
It was a low-scoring game last time, but I also want to think, didn't the weather play a factor into that?
I don't know how much the weather was a factor, but I had an idea that these teams might have, Health Sciences at least, may have held back a little bit to some degree.
Yeah.
On the game plan. Now they're two studs, Guy and
Pitts.
They combined for 400 yards rushing. So I don't know. Maybe Will East just played them tough.
Yeah, I would say that they did, and seeing what they did against West Seneca West, you can tell that defense is going to be a big challenge for Health Sciences. Now, what they do to that O-line for Health Sciences, I think that's the key. If they're able to break through more, find more success, and get after those tailbacks, it's not going to be just a 19-14 game. They could possibly come away with that game. In fact, if that's the case, that game could be even more low-scoring than what we had before in the first matchup against those two teams.
I don't know what the weather's like tomorrow. I'm assuming it's a lot like it was tonight. And if that's the case, neither team's going to have an easy time throwing the ball. Not that they throw the ball a lot.
Which is something you have to keep in mind with Will East, because they love throwing the football.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I know like Kyer Smith's has had a good season, but a lot of the times they'll go to Martis and he'll try to connect with his guys in the passing attack.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, but it was great being on with you guys tonight. And Evan Tringali, our producer, did a fantastic job. And all you people out there watching, thank you very much. Jake, you want to sign us off?
Yeah, another phenomenal week. I would say the best week we've ever had on this show. It was fantastic. We've had some amazing games that went down to the wire. I think first time we actually have coaches on as well. So thank you, Frank, for doing that. We got a lot of the coaches that came in that called into the show, able to talk to them as they prepare for their championship games. We'll just say this one more time.
How about a shout out to Chad Andrews?
Oh, yeah. Chad Andrews.
He was listening.
Yeah. Thank you, Chad Andrews, listening. Can't wait to see what you do for high school boys basketball later down this season. I want to go through this one more time, though, just to make it official. Well, for the most part, because we're still waiting on Class A. But for AA, Jamestown Red and Green taking on the Bennett Tigers, Class AA. That is going to be Friday, November 14th at 8 p.m. That'll be the final game of 5 games that'll be taking place at Highmark Stadium during a 2-day period. McKinley in Class A will move on to the finals. They will play either Health Sciences or Williamsville East. That Class A game will take place at 9 p.m. on Thursday the 13th. That'll cap off 3 games there on Thursday. Class B, West Seneca East Trojans taking on the Lackawanna Steelers. Class B game will be Friday the 14th at 5 p.m. That'll be the first game of that evening. And then the AA games after that. Class D will be Wilson Lakeman taking on the Newfane Panthers. That'll be the first game of 3 to start off our section title matchups. That'll be Thursday the 13th at 3 p.m. And then that same night at 6 p.m., it will be Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton Eagles taking on the Southwestern Frewsburg squad for the Class C title game.
I'm just thinking one more time. A lot of very good football players' high school careers came to an end today.
That is true.
Man, best of luck to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know some of those guys that will most likely be in the running for a Connolly Cup finalist, as that we'll find out who those are in the next couple of weeks. But for this broadcast, we want to sign off here. Thank you guys for joining us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. For our producer, Evan Tringali, Frank Wolf joining us here in replacement of Francis Beck. My name is Jacob Fyock. So long, everyone. Have a great weekend. We can't wait to be back at Highmark Stadium for more championship football. Good night, everyone.